And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over the mainstream media, everywhere. We got a whole lot going on. And where did I start? I don't even know. We have a whole lot happening. Oh, man. Hunter Biden. Well, Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. What's the difference? I can't tell. Free crack pipes. I'm going to go in. I will go in. That's going to be my favorite one to cover. We'll get to that a little bit later, though. Not at the very beginning. Oh, of course, we can talk about the Chinese skater Zhi Lu, or Zhu Yi, also known as Beverly Zhu. We'll talk about the defector in a moment. Also, GoFundMe, maybe having some legal problems, maybe engaging in some fraud, potentially, allegedly. We'll talk about that as well. Also, Stacey Abrams got caught in some more maskless pictures. There was one picture of her in front of the classroom with no mask on. That's bad enough if she wants to be in favor of all these mask and vax mandates. But there were some more photos that came out. We'll talk about that. Also, we got to talk about this whole thing of okay, we got Biden, we got Zhu Yi, Stacey Abrams. Oh, everything's going to be all white. The movie trailer, documentary trailer from Showtime. We got to talk about that as well, and some things that were said in that particular trailer, because there's some confusion. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank you for joining me again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you have heard thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening to this on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc., please give me a 5-star rating, a review, whatever you can over there. I most certainly appreciate you if you did. And if you didn't know, this is a podcast, so it will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links for that will be in the description box. And also, you can just go to the platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And of course, shout out to my sponsors, as always. Shout out to BHEdesigns.com. They make these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. You can get one just like that, or one of your very own, customized, whatever the case may be. Just go to the website through the links in the description box below. BHEDIS, not DIS, can I spell? DESIGNS.com. BHEdesigns.com. Check them on out. Great place to go to get your flags. Also, patriotpost.us. They are the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. Been around for a long time, 25 plus years. Very well respected. Real good news. Good as in good, but good as in factual, correct, honest. Not a bunch of malarkey like mainstream media does. So check them out in the description box below, patriotpost.us. That'd be fantastic. Also, check my websites out. You have ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more coming out whenever I just pop a new design on there. Check it out, bookmark it, visit it regularly. Tell your friends and family, ablmerch.com. Also, anthonyblogan.com, my particular website. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. For every video I produce, I also write an article. It might be a pretty lengthy article, a short article, regardless of what, I always cite my sources. So nobody could ever say that Anthony got on YouTube and put out some factually incorrect information. If I come on to YouTube and I say, here's my opinion, here's my 2 cents, that's that. But if I say the CDC director says that the vax does not stop transmission, then that's what it is, okay? And it's funny because, just a brief side note before I get to the topics, I'm on Instagram, of course, and you can find my social media accounts on my website, anthonyblogan.com, on the contact page. You can find my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, my email, my snail mail, all that good stuff right there on the contact page of my website. But anyway, so I'm on Instagram going through my DMs, and somebody's like, hey, I can't actually mention you because I'm getting this message. And I would put it on the screen, but I don't want to put your name out there like that. But the message said, you can't at Anthony B. Logan, meaning, you know how you be on Instagram, one of these social media sites where you put the @ sign behind somebody's name and it tags them so you can get notified that somebody's trying to, you know what I'm saying? It said they can't tag me or they can't mention me because I've posted quote unquote misinformation about the virus. What misinformation did I post? I've never said anything that has not been proven correct. Now, maybe it was not something that was accepted by the mainstream media right when I said it, but they always come around and say, oh, ABL was right. Well, they're not talking to me specifically, but they might as well be. Whenever I hear them go on TV and say a thing that I've been saying and the whole internet has been saying for the past 2 years, I feel like they're talking to me. They're talking to me specifically. It's like, okay, Anthony was right. We were wrong. We apologize. That's what I hear when they come out and say stuff like that. Now, of course, they're not really apologizing, but that's what I feel in my heart, if that makes any sense. You see? But anyway, so I got labeled as misinformation about the virus and stuff like that. So they're trying to punish me. But what are they going to do? Just to get straight into it, what are they going to do when all these states, leftist states, New York State, they've eliminated the mandates and the restrictions. California starting to do it. A lot of the left coast are starting to do it right now. They're starting to lift the virus restrictions now. It's dumb though, because it's not all the way. We're still kind of in this weird in between purgatory type place, especially in New York State. New York State is removing the mandate, but New York City still has it. So it's like, what is the purpose in New York City having the mandate for businesses to have the vax, but New York City doesn't? I mean, it's just a whole big weird thing. But regardless of what's going on, all these mandates and restrictions and rules are starting to get rolled back. The CDC are admitting that these masks don't even work. We said that from the beginning. Fauci said that from the beginning and then retracted it. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm mistaken. Making up stuff, talking about, oh, well, I said that you shouldn't wear a mask in the beginning because I didn't want to run on the masks. So regardless of whether he said the masks work or not, he still intentionally, from his own point of view, lied about the reason why you shouldn't wear it. So why would anybody believe him? You got on TV and said that you lied specifically, not just I was mistaken or I didn't really know or the science changes. You know, that's the funniest thing in the world to me, right? That's the funniest thing in the world is they keep talking about, trust the science, believe the science, science this, science that, science. It's to the point where regular normies are using the word science when they never said it before. All they know about science is building out a science guide. They know about going to the high school, not even high school. They know about going to the 6th grade class and having a little project with the volcano with the soda in it, stuff like that. They know about putting chemicals together and seeing something explode. Okay, they might know about some drugs and that kind of chemicals. That's a different story, though. I'll get to the drugs, and I will get to the drug part in a minute, but not right now. They don't really know about science, but now all of a sudden they're science experts saying, here's a good here's a good meme for you guys that can't see it. This is the famous Homer Simpson meme, right? Where he is saying one thing or he has something on and he's against this wall of bushes. And he emerges from the bushes different than he was before he went into the bushes. Now, this one has Homer with his regular, white polo and blue jeans. And on the white polo, it has the Democrat logo, right? And he has one of these surgical masks on his face. And then the speech bubble says, the science is settled. That's what they say right now, right? Oh, the science is settled. Wear the mask, slow the spread, flatten the curve, all that stupid, I don't want to say the R word right now. A little bit too early in the stream for that, but you understand what I'm saying. The things that we know are just ridiculous. The science is settled. Wear this, wear that. But then here come the midterms. We see what's going on. Slowly but surely they're starting to whittle away at all these restrictions and mandates and the science this, the science that. They're starting to go away from that. So he's descending into the bushes. And then as he comes out of the bushes, there's no more masks. And then he says the science has changed. I'm hearing that a lot lately. I'm hearing this whole thing about, the science has changed. Whatever happened to the science is settled and trust the science and believe the science. Why was I labeled as some kind of conspiracy theorist when I said science is never concrete? Science is a study. Ain't no such thing as a study being settled. That's not how that works at all. You're always studying. You're always trying to prove and disprove. It's an ongoing thing. Now, we know some things to be true typically when you're talking about quote unquote science. That does not mean that they can't be challenged or there can't be any other explanation or reason, because it's always a study. Like gravity, because in actuality, gravity is a theory. By definition, gravity is a theory. But does that mean that if I jump in the sky, I'm going to start flying? I don't think so. I think usually if you jump from a tall building, you're not going to fly like Clark Kent. You're going to plummet to the floor like a rock at a high rate of speed. That's science. But I can't sit here and say I know the exact reason why that happens. I can tell you a basic thing, but I can't really get down to the core of it and say that I'm 100% right and there's no other explanation for it. That's not how that works. The point is, making a long story less long, ain't no such thing as proven or settled science, because it's always going to be another explanation, another way to get to the goal, especially talking about brand new things like this. You got a brand new virus out there. Don't nobody know what it is. People are frightened. And within a month, we say, oh, if science is settled, it's over with. Come on, man. Like, let's stop. So we're going to see a whole lot more of this stuff. I think I saw this lady. What was her name? Leana Wen. I think she's a Chinese doctor. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think this might be it right here. This might be it right here. Now, she's been one of the main people, really kind of scary, talking about all these Orwellian measures and whatnot on CNN. And now here she is saying something different. Now, I've not seen this particular video, but I've seen it floating around. I've not watched it yet. You know, I want to see it live with you guys. But it's her posting it, so it's not me, clickbaiting. This is her, Leana Wen, who was also the former head of Planned Parenthood, if you didn't know that. Oh, yes, she was the former head of Planned Parenthood. There was controversy there. I'm not sure what happened. You guys, of course, know, but I'm not sure what happened. But here's the caption of the video before I play it. Get a little bit of sound here. She says, changing guidance doesn't mean that experts were wrong before. Oh, no, but see, wait, like, I'm going to read it and then I'm going to respond, because I want to just jump on her. Not in that way, of course, never. I just want to say, I want to jump on that statement and destroy it right away, but I want to read the rest of it and then get through the video first before I do. But let me just restart that. Changing guidance doesn't mean that experts were wrong before. Constant reevaluation of science and recalculating risk-benefit analysis with evolving circumstances is the bedrock of good medicine and sound public health policy. We need to acknowledge complexity and nuance. Haven't we been saying that since 2 years ago? Haven't we always been saying that? Like, you get new information, you get new data, you change. Okay? This whole thing has been political up until right now. Now they want to say, oh, well, we got time for nuance and time for change and all this and that and the third. Very convenient how you get midterms coming up and your virus policies are not popular with anyone, left, right, or indifferent. They say only like 50% or 60% of Americans are fully vaxxed. I probably would say 50% are fully vaxxed, because with every new shot and new pill and new thing, people become less and less likely to buy into it. And they know that. They know midterms are coming up. They know they're going to get clobbered. So now they got to hit the panic button, and it's time for a new strategy. That's what's going on. But let's see what this video is talking about.
Politics here, Dr. Wen. But is this a statement that things have come to a different place now, that starting now, things need to change going forward, or is...
Okay, I got to restart because I got to read the context. If you can't see the video, the lower third says Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, California, and Oregon set timelines for the end of school or statewide indoor mask mandates.
Politics here, Dr. Wen. But is this a statement that things have come to a different place now, that starting now, things need to change going forward, or is this an admission that some of the decisions that have been made over the last 2 years may not have been the right ones?
Yeah, it's an important question, John. I'm glad you asked it this way because it's definitely the former. As in, I don't want anyone listening to think that, oh, well, now that things are changing, it means that we never should have had mask policies in the first place. Actually, at the beginning of the pandemic, masking was one of the few things that we had. We didn't have vaccines. We didn't have testing. We didn't have other treatments. We had masking. And so masking was really necessary at that time. Even last month, masking was necessary because we were seeing Omicron overwhelm our hospitals.
But you just said that masks don't work. The CDC says the masks don't work. So why was it necessary to wear the masks when the masks don't work? Oh, you got to get the N95 ABL, get the respirator, get the whole Neil Armstrong spacesuit. Nobody has that. Nobody has that. People running around with do-rags on their face, paper towels and birthday hats on their face. They're not running around with these professional masks. They just don't have it. So let's stop lying.
Our hospitals were at the brink of collapse. We needed it. But just as there was a need then, things have changed. And we have to have an honest, nuanced conversation that's based in science, but that's also thoughtful. I think the two sides, if you will, have both become more extreme, more polarized. And the nuance.
No, don't do that. Don't do the whole both sides thing. No, because what she's trying to do right now is say, you guys, you normies, you peons don't really get it. First, it was a whole thing about trying to attack Trump supporters as not wanting to get the vax, which is not even, it wasn't even the case from the beginning. From the beginning, it was not political because the least vaccinated population is the black community, and they are the most Democratic voting bloc in the entire country. So how does it make any sense? How is it going to be a thing that's right-wing conservatives only that don't want to get vaxxed, but the largest block of Democrat voters are the least vaxxed? Make that make sense.
Conversation based on thoughtful positions. That's what we have to have at this time.
Okay, so getting back to the statement at the beginning that she wrote in her caption to the video, changing guidance doesn't mean the experts were wrong before. Yes, it does mean they were wrong before, because what's actually changed? Nothing has really changed. They got different variants out there, but it transmits the same way. And they're talking about the hospitals are being overrun with the Omarion. So if you got hospitals being overrun with the Omarion, with the Delta, with whatever strain it was, nothing has really changed. It's still the same virus, essentially, just a little bit different. It's been tweaked a little bit. What's changed is the political landscape and the need to get beyond all this nonsense. That's what's going on, Miss Leana Wen, former president of Planned Parenthood. That's what's going on. So, yeah, I'm not trying to hear none of that type of stuff. None at all. But I'll move right along from that particular point. And I'm going to talk about, speaking about Chinese women, not to be racist, but I'm going to keep it going. Let's talk about Zhu Yi, a.k.a. Beverly Zhu. Now, you guys may have seen my video, but Beverly Zhu was born in the U.S. to Chinese immigrants. And she was born and raised here in Los Angeles or somewhere in California, ironically enough. But anyway, when she was 16, she defected to China to compete with them during the 2018 Olympics. Now, the thing about China, you cannot be a dual citizen. So here's an example. If you want to be over in China competing for their Olympics team and you want to live there, work there, whatever, okay, well, you need to be a citizen. And you can't be a dual citizen. So you have to renounce your citizenship to be a citizen of their country. So you have to defect. And that's what the word defect literally means. I was seeing some comments about, oh, that's not defecting. Yes, it is. It's not, she's not the typical defector. You know, this ain't like Elian Gonzalez or something like that. This ain't really like somebody got to run away from their country. It's not like that. But by definition, if you abandon your country in favor of a rival for professional, political reasons, then that's what a defector is. That's what she did. She abandoned her U.S. citizenship. Like, she was a U.S. citizen, naturalized, born in America, a U.S. citizen, never had to apply for citizenship, but she renounced her U.S. citizenship to go to China. She defected to China to compete with them for the Olympics. Now, I'm not really sure what the motivation was behind it. Maybe it's money, because you can be a billionaire over in China, whereas you may have been just a regular person, or I don't want to say mediocre, but you wouldn't have really stood out in America. I mean, how many people do we know in America who are figure skaters that are famous? I mean, the last people I knew that were figure skaters that I can remember from their names, you're talking about the lady that got hit in the knee by the other lady. I forget their names, but if I see the picture, you already kind of know what it is. Was it Kerrigan? I don't even know. I forget what it. Nancy Kerrigan. Yeah, I remember her. Yep. Now, so who put the hit on who? Was it Nancy Kerrigan or was it somebody else? I'm not really sure. But yeah, so she was attacked. Nancy Kerrigan was attacked by someone else. By a different skater. That was crazy. That was 1994. So you feel old? 1994. Good. You talking about what? Like about a good almost 30 years ago. About 28 years ago. So it's been a little while now, huh? But I don't know anybody beyond that. So the point is, if Beverly Zhu, now known as Zhu Yi, can go to China and become a superstar where she wouldn't have been over here, maybe that was the whole motivation. And also that she is an ethnic Chinese person, probably Han Chinese, and her dad works for Peking University in Beijing, which is the same thing. Peking, Beijing is the same place. But he's like a world famous, or at least famous in China, AI scientist. So her dad is a really important figure in China. Their family name, the Zhu name, is really big in China. So that's probably why she made that move, because it's kind of a money move. She can make more money in China and be more famous in China. So, okay, you got it, right? You defected. You're no longer a U.S. citizen. Now you're living in China trying to get your money. Okay, so was that Tanya Harding? So Tanya Harding's boyfriend attacked Nancy Kerrigan. Gotcha. Okay, I'm with you. So, but back to Zhu Yi. So Zhu Yi decided, okay, I want to be a Chinese person. I'm trying to get this money. Now, the thing about China, they're not really understanding like that. Okay, if you have a bad performance in China, they're not really trying to hear these excuses. They're not trying to hear, oh, well, my mental health and I wasn't feeling well, all this, that, and the third. They're not trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear it. They're saying, look, man, you got to get it together. You got to tighten up. Okay, if you can't cut the mustard, then you got to step off. If you fall like she fell, and it was crazy. I did not actually see the injury or the fall, and I cannot play it here. I can't even find it and play it because the Olympics, they will strike you instantly. It's not even the game with the Olympics, but when Zhu Yi fell, not once but twice during this Olympics, oh man, that right there, it was a disgrace. Like, okay, in America, we had Simone Biles. Remember Simone Biles, the gymnast who came out and said that she didn't want to compete during the Olympics last year because she had mental problems. She was mentally fatigued or whatever. Another one, Naomi Osaka, talking about, oh, well, I don't want to do press conferences. I'm mentally fatigued and I don't feel good and I need my me time. That type of behavior would not be tolerated in China. Zhu Yi actually went out there and performed. She actually did her job, but she fell twice. I'm talking about, you're a figure skater. You go out there, do your routine. The whole point is being graceful and being beautiful out there on the ice. If you fall on the ice, and it's going to be kind of violent because you got your little outfit on and the ground is not very forgiving as ice. So she falling and sliding, crashing into the little barrier like a hockey player getting beat up, but it was nobody around her. It was just her by herself, busting into tears. Like she hit this right here. She hit that. It's like, good grief. I mean, talk about somebody feeling the matter of fact. Okay, I got a picture of the crying afterward. And this is, it was pretty bad. Just as a person, I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, I don't, because it's like, look, you're the one that went to China. You're the one that signed up to get this kind of scrutiny. You can make a lot of money in China, of course, but it ain't free. Nothing in life is free. Everything got a price tag to it. You understand? And if you want to be over there and be a superstar, okay, no problem. So when you fall, I ain't trying to see this though. I understand it's a rough moment just as a human being. I understand it's a rough moment. You hitting this number right here. You understand what I'm saying? It's rough. But you defected. You abandoned America. So to get sympathy from us, I'm not really understanding why you would, you know what I mean? And you definitely won't get it from China. China don't care at all. China couldn't care less about you. Okay, so that's her right there when she fell. So that's what I'm saying. She crashed into the wall. You see the ice and whatnot kind of floating up right there because she had probably just fallen right there on the ice. That's pretty rough. And you notice she has different outfits on, right? Because she fell twice. Okay, it was rough. Just from a human point of view, I understand, but you defected. It is what it is. So now in China, they don't care. There's no sympathy. There's no empathy. They're dragging her on social media, dragging her. How dare you fall? Learn Chinese where you come over here. You can't speak Chinese nowhere. Your dad is the reason why you got selected. They should have gotten a real Chinese person. Take her back to California. This Californian couldn't really cut the mustard. They called her Californian. I was reading one of these Chinese adjacent websites, and they called her the Californian. Like, no sympathy. Whereas over here in the West, you could say, oh, my mental health, I want to break. Oh, she's brave. She's stunning. You fall, like, by accident in China, they don't care nothing about, look, man, you got to get up, tighten up. What a disgusting performance they lit into her. That's China. That's what they do. So when I hear people talking about, China and this positive stuff, I'm like, really? Is that what we're going to talk about when we're talking about China and the Olympics? And have you guys seen the setting of the ski jump? Now, I was told that the ski jump place was not really the real place. It was for practice or whatever, but they showed it on TV. People were competing right there. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. So hold on. If you've not seen the ski place, I'm going to show you guys. All right. Hold on. Somebody says it's a competition that they took for clout gain, and when the pressure is put on them, they want to keep the title of best and quit. Yeah, right. Exactly. 100%. But that's not the way it is. If you want to be the best and you want to be the best in that arena, you got to compete with the best. The only way you can prove you're the best is to compete. You can't just say I'm the best and that's it. You got to compete with others. That's the whole nature of sport. Even if it's a solo sport, you're still competing with others as far as a score, technique, or whatever it is. That's just the reality. If you don't want to be in competition, you don't want to be in sports. But here's the setting for the big air, the ski jump. I mean, this it looks pretty dystopian to me. I mean, this is a real picture. I always fact check these pictures. This is a real picture. I got multiple angles. I got articles and all of that. And this looks like nuclear reactors, but I'm not sure that's what it is. I was told that it's a plant. It's a manufacturing plant that I'm seeing different things about this plant. They said first that it was a manufacturing plant that was it was being repurposed for the Olympics. But then I was told that this is an active plant that produces things, and they shut it down for the Olympics because normally if you go to a place like Beijing, it's covered in filth and dust because of all the manufacturing going on, all the dirty things they just pour into the air. And they're talking about the U.S. trying to be back in the Paris Climate Accord and climate change and pollution and stuff like that. China don't care anything about that at all. They'll put whatever they want into the water, whatever they want into the air. They couldn't care less. If you buy anything that has fabric on it from China, like let's say you buy, if you go on Amazon and buy one of these bed sets, like a bed frame with fabric on it, it's gonna have bed bugs in it. Because they don't really care. They're sending it to you. It's like whatever. They don't, the quality control and beauty and that, they don't really, they give 0 Fs, as the cool kids say. And there's the extended environment. Now, how beautiful is that? Not beautiful at all. If you were to tell me, hey man, you want to go to this, you want to go skiing or something like that. Now, I'm not a skiing guy, but let's just say I was Shaun White out there, snowboarding and whatnot, catching the air, doing my 540, fakie, whatever y'all want to call the tricks. Let's say I was doing that, right, on a snowboard or something. Would I go out here to this active industrial park where they're making who knows what with all kind of pollutants, would I go out there and do my tricks on this particular thing, just set right there in this bleak hellscape? Would I do that? I think not. Send me to Lake Placid, send me to somewhere else in the USA or Europe or something. Not here. Okay, but that's what we got going on. Now, it's not really snow. Not really. Hold on. I'm gonna try to find the article that I put out. Well, that I had copied and pasted the picture from. Well, matter of fact, this article has a different picture in it, so you can see that it's different angles. Oh, it's real. I got an article right here. Okay, this is Reuters.com. Check it out. This is Reuters. It says China showcases low carbon tech for quote unquote green games. And that's the same area right here, but it's a different angle. You see, this is 100% real. And the caption right here says, snow guns are seen at the Big Air Showgang, a competition venue for the freestyle skiing and snowboard at the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics during an organized media tour in Beijing, China, December 15th, 2021. So this is right before the games this year. They were setting it up. That's it right there. 100%. And I think they have, they got like cannons. Matter of fact, here's some more. So they got snow cannons right there. You see? See what they're doing? Yeah. So I guess some areas are in the mountains. But as far as that particular, yeah, it's right there in the industrial park. Yep. And they were showing that on TV. China don't care. China cares nothing about, it's like, look, man, we're the world power. We could put this wherever we want. So we could put this Olympics right in the middle of Beijing, right next to the dope fiends and everything. You're going to see whatever we want to show you because so what? We do whatever we want. It's kind of a flex of power. It's a weird flex, but I guess that's fine. I guess it's okay. So yeah, shout out to the nastiest scene I've ever seen in my life at the Olympics. I understand if you're having the Olympics in an urban environment, it can be difficult to make everything look the way you want. Right before the Olympics in Atlanta, they had to clean stuff up. You always got to do the kind of stuff, you got to clean stuff up. You got the vagrants and whatnot. It's like that right now in, what's that, LA. You having the big games. You got to clear out the homeless. It shouldn't really be right there, but that's a different story. But you got to make everything look nice and neat and tidy. They did that in Russia as well. But China, whatever. Hey, man, shut the plant down for like a week. We got the skiers coming. And when they leave, they crank right back up when they leave. So I guess that could be considered clean by Chinese standards because that picture right there could be, you could have gray sky, you could have black skies almost, like a dark gray. Like the sky and these cooling towers could be the exact same color because of all the smog that they would emit. So I guess it could be worse, right? To them, that's beautiful. But to me, I just see, I see like Fallout video game. That's like Fallout video game vibes, essence. But I move on away from that. Thank you for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, crack pipes. Let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right now because I've been waiting to talk about this particular thing. I've been waiting. I promise I've been waiting. Now, the Biden administration say that they have set aside $30 million for quote unquote smoking kits for people that are on the streets that are on drugs. Now, in the smoking kit, they're going to have crack pipes. And in the language of the grant, they said that people got to apply to get these money. So I guess it would be like nonprofit organizations or whatever, they'll get the money. So I'm not really sure what kind of groups are going to be involved with this. Crackhead helping hands, dope fiends are anonymous. I'm not really sure, but regardless, they got to apply for the monies. And in the language, it says that preference will be given to quote unquote underserved communities. And it's defined when you're talking about underserved or whatever, they're talking about black or the new term where they say BIPOC, black, indigenous, person of color. It just means black folks and other colors, right? Quote unquote minorities, non-whites. and also LGBTQ, elemental P, X, Y, Z. So I guess being gay is the same as being black, but that's a different story. And I digress. The point is that you'll be given preference if you can hand out these crack pipes to blacks and other minorities. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't vote for that. I didn't vote for that guy anyway. But if I was a Joe Biden voter, which I'm not, if I was, I don't think we voted for that. Crack pipes, is that what we're going to do? Crack pipes in 2022? Is that where we at nowadays, talking about crack? And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's their explanation for the crack pipes. And you know what? Before I continue, when I saw the screenshot of the news article floating around, I was like, nah, that's fake. That's fake. That ain't real. You know, I see a lot of fake news all the time. I see so much news. I see a lot of fake stuff and a lot of real stuff. I can usually tell when something's fake, just outright fake, like, or satire, like Babylon Bee. Shout out to Babylon Bee. Great website, by the way. But I could tell when it's just satire and it's not really serious. So I thought we talking about like a Babylon Bee type article or something that wasn't real to be funny. I'm like, okay, that's a funny joke, blah, blah, blah. You know, we got Black History Month and giving out free crack pipes to black folks. Okay, that's, you know, weird joke, but okay, I understand. That's fake. Moving on. But I kept seeing it over and over and over. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't really be real, is it? So I looked into it. I did my due diligence and did my sleuth work, and it's real. So I'm like, what in the world? But getting back to it, the reason that they did this is because they wanted to wean the dope fiends off of shooting up drugs. Because if you shoot drugs, you could catch HIV right there. You understand what I'm saying? So they want to reduce, it's called a harm reduction grant. So the harm is done by IV drug use. They could transmit HIV and other viruses. So if you smoke crack or your methamphetamine or your fentanyl from a pipe, you reduce disease distribution. Now, you might die from overdosing on fentanyl or meth or crack or whatever. You might die by using the pipe, the same as a needle, but you won't get HIV though. Oh, but you won't get HIV from that way, because what they don't say is you can catch HIV different ways rather than just sharing needles. You see what I'm saying? Because they think the thought process is if you're on the streets using drugs, like if you are an IV drug user, the reason why you got the HIV is because of your needles. Maybe not. You can get it that way, but if you're on the street and you don't have any kind of job, no employment, and you have a drug habit, how can you get money with no job to continue your drug habit? I'm not going to get weird. Y'all could just think about it to yourselves. What other way can you get money? And these ways are very dangerous. They put you in a weird position, and maybe you might catch the bug that way. I'm just saying. So that crack pipe ain't going to save you. But that's the whole thing. And they've tried this in parts of the country like the left coast, Portland, Seattle. They've tried this. I'm not really sure how it worked. I mean, I don't really understand. Okay, fentanyl was the number one leading cause of death for all adults aged 18 to 45 in 2021. All adults, not just whites, not just blacks, not just men, women. The number one cause of death for all adults aged 18 to 45, 2021. So when I hear things like, oh man, that's a white man disease, ABL, that's a white man thing with the heroin, I can't tell. I see the videotapes of Philly and Baltimore and DC. I'm seeing guys, black guys hunched over, okay? Hunched over, about to fall but can't fall. White guys, I'm seeing white guys, black guys, white girls, black girls, Hispanics, Asian, everybody. It's affecting the whole country. So rather than closing the border up, which we should do, because the fentanyl coming from the southern border, from Mexico and from China, it's coming from right there. It's wide open. So rather than patching that up, putting a wall right there, letting agents actually arrest these guys, rather than doing that, we're diverting money away from that. Oh, we got to let everybody in. We got to abolish ICE, abolish the police, abolish all this and that. Okay, so we're going to abolish the police, abolish ICE, abolish the quote unquote war on drugs. And what's the result? An epidemic of fentanyl addiction. And by the way, fentanyl is a big pharma creation made by Janssen Pharmaceutical, which is now part of Johnson & Johnson. Funny how that works. How Johnson & Johnson, they probably own the fentanyl, if it's still patented. I'm not sure if it is or not, probably not. But they're the ones that initially, brought you fentanyl, and they brought you the worst quote unquote vax on the market. And I've not heard much from Johnson & Johnson lately as far as the vax. All I hear is Pfizer. I don't hear Johnson & Johnson, and I don't really hear too much from Moderna. I hear some Moderna, mostly Pfizer. I wonder why. Maybe if you signed up for that beta test of the Johnson & Johnson and you realize it didn't work, they pulled that from the market, or they're not really marketing it to the public anymore because they realized it didn't really work too well and it had bad side effects. Who saw that coming? But anyway, I digress. The whole point is that they want to have free crack pipes to reduce the harm of infectious disease that comes from IV drug use, sharing needles. But drug addicts don't think that way. People are weird. People that have never really been around drug addicts, or they never really been high themselves. I never was a drug user, but I've been around drug users. I've been in the same house with them. I've been in the same room with them. I've been around crack smoke. I've been around all that. The thing about these guys is they don't think logically most of the time. Okay, the drug addict is not some kind of guy that can compose himself and think logically, really, because he's probably high on drugs. And some kind of mental problem that's going to be going on. Either there was a mental issue before the drugs or after the drugs or because of the drugs. So if he's on drugs, he's not going to think logically. So a person who thinks that this guy's like some kind of big brain genius is like, okay, we're giving you clean needles, sir. We're giving you free crack pipes. So don't mainline your heroin anymore. When you're having the sweats, when you're about to vomit, take this pipe and smoke it instead. That's better for you because you won't catch HIV. If somebody's on the street shooting fentanyl, like let's say in Philadelphia, what's that, Kensington? If you were out there in that kind of environment, covered in filth, it's just a total disgusting wasteland. If you're in that environment, why would you be in this right state of mind to make that kind of rational decision? If you made decisions that made sense, you wouldn't be on drugs to begin with. You see what I'm saying? That's why these things don't work. Then they want to talk about having these shooting galleries, places where you can go and get high on your drugs. Now, who wants to live right next door to that? Do you want to live right next door to a shooting gallery? I know I don't. Okay, if you get a crack hovel, I don't want to be anywhere near that. A crack den, get me away from there. It reminds me of New Jack City. Remember New Jack City, if you ever seen that movie? Where they commandeered the entire apartment complex to manufacture or to, like, I guess you would say, assemble their drug vials or their crack or whatever they had, the freebase. What if you lived in that apartment complex? What are you going to do? It's dangerous. I've seen these crack houses burn up. And sometimes it'd be like in an apartment complex with other people where they're in there smoking crack or smoking meth. The house will blow up. It'll burn up. It's dangerous. Kids running around. And of course, when you have all these drugs around, you're going to invite the dregs of society. You're going to invite people that want to touching on kids, people that want to go out there and kidnap people that got all kind of really dangerous mental conditions. You don't want them anywhere near you. So crack pipes, is that what we're going to do? We're not going to address the southern border. Leave that alone. Leave it wide open. The inflation, nope, not worried about that. What else we got going on? We got southern border, inflation, the crime problem. Okay, they said, I think it was like 75 officers have been shot and killed in 2021, or in the first year of Biden's presidency, which is the most since 1995. So the most officers have been shot and killed on the job since 95. You're talking about, what's that, about 27 years? Is my math right about that? 27 years? That's a long time. We're going back to the crack wars. We're going back to that time. They're inviting it. And you know what? The craziest part is that, I forgot this part. I'm reading some of the comments and it kind of clicked for me. One of the main things was people, a lot of black folks, a lot of white liberals, they said that the government, they're the ones that introduced crack to the inner city. They dropped crack off in the inner city and made all the black folks sell it to other black folks and getting them high, and the whole thing. It was the government's fault. The government did it. Some of those same people are now defending the Biden administration for giving out free crack pipes. Like, they're actually doing it. Back then, maybe it was a whole thing with the Iran-Contras or whatever, but it wasn't like they got on TV and said, hey, man, here's some crack. Go out there and sell it. Here they're saying, hey, here's some crack pipes. Smoke it. Free crack pipes. $30 million. Take that. Oh, you're going to defend that, but you're going to make up a conspiracy about the entire country being plagued with the crack epidemic because of Ronald Reagan. I'm not saying the Iran-Contra thing didn't happen. I'm talking about just the entire country being plagued with crack was not necessarily just Ronald Reagan's fault. You see what I'm saying? But in this one, they're telling you on TV, hey, here's free crack pipes. Take that. So would that be kind of furthering the crack epidemic or restarting it, or are they trying to provoke it live on TV? And it's fine. And we're going to defend that. It's crazy, man. But hey, I didn't vote for that guy. I ain't vote for him. You know, you could say Orange Man bad or whatever, but Orange Man never said, hey, man, hit this crack for me right quick. Orange Man never did that to me. But here we are with Joe Biden saying, hey, man, look, if you don't hit this and you ain't black, that's what I'm hearing right now from the Biden administration. Not very good. Not very good at all. But I will go ahead and digress. Thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you have heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And we got a whole lot going on this evening. Where else could I go? Oh, Stacey Abrams. So Stacey Abrams got caught in the picture with the school kids with no mask on. And I think there are more pictures. Me just try to find that right quick. Yeah, see, the funniest part was she was trying to say that, hey, you know what? I was at the school for Black History Month and it's a shameless attack. It's like, Black History Month? What does that got to do with anything? Nothing. You got caught with no mask on. Hold on. Let me see if there's if she spoke out about it. I'm seeing a video right here. And before I continue, here's a picture of Stacey Abrams with no mask on and a sea full of children with masks on. And, you know, the funniest part was she said she had the mask on before the picture, but took it off for the picture. It's like, okay, if masks work, then why would you take your mask off for the picture? I mean, you got to do it for the gram, right? Because right when she posted this picture, as you can see, Stacey Abrams, the former Georgia gubernatorial candidate, trying to beat Brian Kemp and got stomped down. She has no mask on. The children have on masks. These are all cloth masks, which we know don't work. So there's no purpose. All you're doing is traumatizing these kids. They're not socializing properly. They're not really able to breathe and what they're supposed to. They got rashes on their face and all types of stuff way too early. They got all kind of schmutz in it, all kind of bacteria in it. So she's doing this for the quote unquote gram, as the cool kids say, trying to get a good Instagram picture, a good Twitter picture, because right as soon as she took the picture, she posted it to her social media account. So it's not me making it up. She posted it, and then after she got backlash, she deleted it. The only reason why she took that mask off is because she wanted to be seen. It's like, hey, this is me. I'm Stacey Abrams. I'm out here with these kids during Black History. I see 90% white kids in there, but that's fine, I suppose. It's Black History Month. Don't be racist. I got my mask off for that. It's so dumb. But I see that all the time. I see it with all the politicians. All of them on the left. They say that they want to have all these mandates and rules and restrictions, and they get caught continuously violating them. Nancy Pelosi got caught in the hair salon. Gavin Newsom got caught at French Laundry. The list goes on and on. They've been doing this since the very beginning. And people that vote for them still believe in their policies. It's like, look, why do you believe in the mask policy when your person that you voted for is not doing it? The same guy or girl who told you to put your mask on to protect everybody is not doing it. Why does it not count when you're taking the picture? So does the bug stay dormant when you're taking the picture? Does the bug just stay away? Oh, well, she getting right for the gram. I'm gonna just not infect anybody. Is that how that works? Is that how the science works? That the bug is gonna stay put while you're taking the picture? It's like if I'm taking a picture of somebody in a public area, it's a gap between us. It's like a walking area, and somebody's coming and they don't want to interrupt the picture, so they kind of wait right there. Is that what the virus does with us when we take pictures? Like Eric Garcetti, another one, talking about I was holding my breath. The dumbest excuses. If you don't want to wear the mask, just say that. You're taking a picture with no mask on, just say you don't want to wear it. Just be honest. And then we can be over all this stupid stuff. But I digress. So I think Stacey Abrams came out with a statement or something. We'll see if it's in this particular video right here. It might just be Brooke Baldwin, whoever this is, talking at us, but we'll see.
Masking in schools is a hot button political issue. Something my next guest, Democrat Stacey Abrams, knows well after recently being criticized for retweeting a since deleted photo of herself maskless at a school event with a classroom of masked students sitting behind her. Out front now, Stacey Abrams, candidate in Georgia's Democratic gubernatorial primary and former Democratic leader in Georgia's House of Representatives. So, Leader Abrams, I appreciate your time. So obviously we've all seen the picture. We've all seen the coverage of the picture. Did you make a mistake by taking a photo maskless in the classroom when it appears that everyone else, including all the children, were wearing them?
Yes. I will say this. I went to read to kids for an African-American read-in day. I approached the podium with my mask on. I followed the protocols. I told the kids I'm taking my mask off because I'm reading to kids who are listening remotely as well. And we were socially distanced. The kids were socially distanced from me.
Let's pause right there. Why does that matter if they're not in the actual room? So if you're reading at the podium with your mask on to kids who are right there, why would it be different for kids who are not right there? They can still see you the same as the kids that are in the audience. How does it make any sense? It makes no sense.
I told them that's what I was doing. And in the excitement after I finished, because it was so much fun working with those kids, I took a picture, and that was a mistake. Protocols matter, and protecting our kids is the most important thing, and anything that can be perceived as undermining that is a mistake, and I apologize.
So let me ask you, though, because at the heart of this, I understand. So, you know, you're apologizing for making a mistake. But at the heart of this is why we're in this situation right now to begin with, right? You know, some people still believe in mask mandates. Others feel that it is long past the time, especially when adults are often no longer wearing mask mandates and mandates have been lifted. Yesterday, 4 Democratic governors set specific timelines to lift mask mandates in schools in the next few weeks. Yep. The New Jersey governor, just a few moments ago, Wire Cross, saying he said he's received, quote, overwhelmingly positive reaction to his decision. So do you think it's time to lift these mask requirements in schools? Would you lift them if you were governor of Georgia?
Great question. And if she was real, she would say yes, because this is not just some kind of Trump supporter, conservative. It's not that. This is everybody. This is really a bipartisan issue. People are overwhelmingly in favor of ending the mask mandates, for sure. They're done, because we know that they don't work. They came on TV and said that. So what are we even doing? The Omarion is not really deadly like that. It's just not really, we can move forward with our lives. So if she was real, she would say, yes, let's end it. Matter of fact, she would have said that from the very beginning, but let's see how she answers. I'm sure it'll be politically correct, but we'll see.
COVID hygiene is going to be a point of debate for a very long time, and we can only follow the science and follow our circumstances. Unfortunately, in Georgia, we're not at a place where that conversation is ready, because we have one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country. We have 40% of our counties without general pediatricians, and we've refused to expand Medicaid, so many families don't have access.
Medicaid? What's that got to do with the virus? Like, this is so dumb. Like, she just, of course, it's going to be politically correct. That's all it would do. But you know what? If she was approached by her handlers tomorrow and they said, you know what, we got to support ending the mask mandates because it's not popular. It's not polling very well. We got to support it. Should do it. Typical politician. Some of these people that come out and are first-time governor candidates or whatever, they're politicians. It's the same as everybody else has been in there for a long time. They've been trained by the same people. They've been groomed to be this particular thing by the same people who groomed the people that are in office right now.
To healthcare. I believe that our job is to protect children. And I know that educators and parents have to balance protection and education, and that is a complicated issue. I think each governor has to evaluate what's happening where they are. We have to look to the CDC, but we also have to recognize that we are shifting from pandemic to endemic. Some states are going to get there faster than others.
Okay, that's enough. It's just all political pandering. Everybody knows what it is. You pretty much done with it. She done with it. Like, ain't no mistake. You took your mask off for the picture, for the gram. That's what that was, because you posted it right after it was done. So let's not act like that's going, like, okay, if I'm taking the picture, right? Like, let's say I get caught in the airport and I'm getting off the plane and I got my neck gaiter like right here below my chin because I'm not on the plane anymore. Anybody gonna say put your mask on when I'm just walking in the concourse? Anybody gonna do that? I'm just chilling, minding my business. Matter of fact, I got a bag of Skittles. I'm gonna eat them as I walk one by one and say something to me. Ain't gonna happen. But anyway, it'll be like I get caught like that, and then I run into a guy's like, "Hey man, like at work, can you get a picture?" I ain't gonna put the mask on or leave it around my neck. I'll take it off for the picture because I want to look decent for the picture. Get everything situated for the picture. I'm taking my neck gaiter and throwing it that way. I'm not worried about the protocols. I don't care about the protocols. Now, if I was a protocol person, it would have been known from the very beginning, but it was not. She probably had it on and took it off because you got to look good for the picture, not caring about the protocols. She doesn't care, so why should I care? But I move right along. What else we got going on? So shout out to GoFundMe. GoFundMe is a place you shouldn't donate at all. You should not give money to GoFundMe or through GoFundMe. And what I mean by that is there may be a charity on there or some kind of cause or something on GoFundMe that you want to give money to, but I would never give through GoFundMe. I would always suggest you post your Cash App, post your PayPal or something. Now, I'm not saying these are perfect platforms either. I think all the platforms are imperfect, but GoFundMe has proven themselves to be the worst. Matter of fact, speaking about other platforms, before I get to GoFundMe, I saw this crazy commercial. Hold on. From Visa. I'm gonna play it right quick, and you guys let me know what you think. Then I'm gonna get to GoFundMe's kerfuffle with the Freedom Convoy in Canada. And shout out to everybody in the Freedom Convoy, all the truckers and everybody out there in Canada. Keep doing what you do. I know it's super cold out there, and they're trying to hate on you, talking about you can't give fuel, and you guys keep doing what you do. We got your back 100% down here in the States. So shout out to the Freedom Convoy in Ottowa, Canada. Now, here's a Visa commercial. I'm going to play it, and then we'll talk about it.
Everyone celebrates the finish line. But what about the starting line?
I went through 12 treatments of chemotherapy.
I am African American and I'm surrounded by people who aren't.
I didn't become a snowboarder until after I became an amputee.
We all win when everyone can get to their starting line.
Okay, I want to play the music right there. But that's a Visa commercial. So if you missed that, if you can't see the actual video, this is like an Olympics commercial because they have the first scene, it's a snowboarding guy talking about he had cancer. The second one is like a speed skater who is black, talking about how hard it is to be black and everybody else is white. And then there is I'm not sure what he is exactly. Some kind of, he's also a snowboarder or something like that. But he has like a one prosthetic leg. So basically they're comparing cancer and being physically disabled to being black. Yes, they did right in their commercial. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I'm fine. I got up this morning. I didn't feel disabled. I didn't feel like I was at a disadvantage. I'm good. I promise I'm good. Right? Is being black some kind of disability? Is it like having a disease that could kill you? Is that what being black is? So the reason why I played that video is to show you guys that, to show you guys how woke things have gotten in America, and also to show how these payment platforms, none of them are perfect. It's hard to find a good payment platform or processor out there. They all kind of have, what they say, leaned into the wokeness. They've all kind of become very woke. All of them. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Cash App, everything. Isn't Cash App partially owned by Jack from Twitter? Or formerly of Twitter? I'm not sure. But anyway, but the point is that these platforms have gotten really woke. But the worst one of all is GoFundMe. 100%. GoFundMe, let me get back to myself here. GoFundMe, they have routinely censored conservative voices. They always do that. Kyle Rittenhouse, when there was a GoFundMe for him, they froze the funds until after he was found not guilty. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, if there's a trial and I've not been convicted and I have no record, why are you freezing my money? I got lawyers to pay and everything else. So what's going on? They did give him the money out, but only after he was found not guilty. So if he was found guilty, they're gonna take the money or do something else with it. There's always some kind of cause, something we get behind, and then it gets to the media, it gets attention. The left, they criticize, they hate on it, and before you know it, GoFundMe steps in and say, "Oh, we've taken this down. It's violating terms of service, all that, and the third." But GoFundMe has a very interesting page on their website that they actually promoted themselves. There's a tweet from GoFundMe promoting this particular thing. I'm gonna find that right quick and put it on the screen for you guys. Very interesting indeed, because they talking about the Freedom Convoy. After they reached $10 million in donations, they took the entire page down. Just totally took it down, and the money was kind of in purgatory for a moment. I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, they took the Freedom Convoy down because they said they got word that there was violent activity happening there, and they didn't want to promote anything like that. So that's the reason why they took the Freedom Convoy's GoFundMe down. But let's wait a minute. Let's go back to the Chaz Chop days. Remember Chaz Chop? What was that? In Freedom, Washington. And remember, Chaz stood for Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and Chop stood for Capitol Hill Occupy Protest. Basically, they took over a city block or a few city blocks in Seattle. It was nothing but violence and mayhem going on. Drug addicts. 2 young black men got shot and killed in Chaz Chop. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., his dad was on TV crying. Young guys, 19 and 16 years old, shot and killed there. Not only did they die, it was a bunch of assaults. Women got assaulted. It was a whole big mess. But yet, here's GoFundMe on their Twitter page promoting a GoFundMe directly for Chop. And they say Chop in the tweet. So they didn't just do it by accident. This is not a mistake. This is right here on GoFundMe's page. You go to my website and find this article. It's on the particular article about the video I did speaking about the Freedom Convoy. But check it out. GoFundMe says, in a community with no police, this farmer is feeding people and bringing them closer together. Learn how you can support Marcus's mission within the shop. Okay, and then they retweeted something from Bloomberg Quick Take. So you got the mainstream media involved, GoFundMe involved. And that's totally fine to support something like this where people actually lost their life. People died. Has anybody died in the Freedom Convoy in Canada? Has anybody been assaulted at the Freedom Convoy in Canada? What's happened? They honking the horns and that's it? Asking for some soup from the soup kitchen? That's it? Has anybody died? Has anybody been assaulted? So here's the thing. From Bloomberg, they say gardening has never been so revolutionary. Here's what Marcus Henderson, the founding farmer of Seattle Garden that's feeding, healing, and sustaining the Chop Capitol Hill Occupy protest. So they say exactly what it is. Revolution says gardening actually brings people closer. And they got a little video and everything.
But something about just like planting something with someone and building something with someone facilitates.
Not only are they promoting the GoFundMe from GoFundMe itself, from Bloomberg, they went out there and shot a video talking about how good it is. Not talking about how people have lost their life out there, and there's been, sexual assaults of women and men in this particular area, and people that live there are in fear for their lives, and their businesses can't really flourish the way they're supposed to because they're occupying the area. See, look, right here, it says gardening and occupied protest. It says it right there.
The CHOP is the Capitol Hill occupied protest. The police left this zone, and we wanted to maintain this location in order to protest for the goals of the Black Lives Matter movement. The message of CHOP when it comes to police brutality is that communities can protect ourselves.
So that's fine, but the Freedom Convoy is not. We know what it's about. It's about political stuff. It ain't about nothing else. If it was about actual safety and actual people that are in danger, you wouldn't support Chaz Chop. But Chaz Chop is about Black Lives Matter, about LGBT, Antifa. They're on the same team. So the moral of the story is, do not give to GoFundMe. They did cancel the Freedom Convoy's page, and they were trying to commit fraud at first. So if they canceled the page, they took the whole page down, and it did not disperse any money, but they raised $10 million. Here's what they should do. What they should have done from the beginning is give automatic refunds, because it's all pretty much digital. I don't think you can actually send a check to GoFundMe. Maybe you can send a check to GoFundMe, but anyway, people are going on there and they're submitting their donations electronically through the website. It's easy to go there and just see what was given and give it back to where it came from, on a card, on a PayPal account, bank account, whatever it is, give it back to where it came from. But what they were going to do from the beginning was make you fill out a form. So they're going to email you a form to say, okay, we canceled the page. If you want your money back, if you want a refund, fill this form out. Now, of course, people ain't going to do that for the most part. Some people will, but a lot of them won't. And they count on that. They know that. So they say, okay, if you don't fill the form out, the money that's remaining will be given to a charity of the Freedom Convoy's choice. But that is misleading when they say that, because the first choice of the Freedom Convoy is the Freedom Convoy, not something else that GoFundMe is going to approve, because the Freedom Convoy might say, okay, don't give it to me, give it to another group that's going to support the Freedom Convoy. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want to do that, so it's got to be GoFundMe approved. So at that point, you're committing fraud. Hey, I gave money for the Freedom Convoy, not Black Lives Matter. You see what I mean? So give me the money back automatically. And, it kind of got hairy. Ron DeSantis, he chimed in. West Virginia's Attorney General, he chimed in. A few guys on the legal side of it chimed in like, you can't do that. That's called fraud. If I give for one reason, but it's not used for that reason, or it goes somewhere else, that's fraud. That's illegal. You can go to penitentiary for that. Big rocks, little rocks. So then they backed off and like, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. What we're going to do is give the money back automatically on the refund. It's like, if you could do that now, why not do it from the very beginning? They were trying to take the money for themselves rather than giving it back to you, for the most part, in my humble opinion. That's what it was. But that's pretty much what I got for that. Thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We got super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I'll get to that in a few minutes here. But yeah, shout out to, and before I get to super chats, everything is going to be all white, the Showtime show. That whole trailer was crazy. These shows where you got a lot of these liberals, a lot of black liberals and white liberals complaining about the white man, that's not a show that's for people like me. That's for white liberals, number one. The biggest target audience of shows like that, where they are attacking whites, are whites themselves. That's the first group, white liberals. Second is black liberals and minority liberals. But number one, white liberals, because they eat it up. The people that got pronouns in the bio, them. That's who's going to eat that whole show up. The whole premise is talking about the white man and how he's oppressive and how he's mean and evil. But stuff like that is not what your typical person, especially black person, really cares about. Your academic, super big brain, 9,000 IQ liberal, they believe in that. They watch that all day long. That's what they consume because they feel guilty. They got that white guilt, and there's also a thing called black guilt and other minority guilt. I seen that because it's like you got these black folks. I'll put it to you this way. One thing that people may not know, or they may know it, there's a big gap in between blacks who grew up middle class or upper class and people in the hood. It's a big gap because I've seen both sides. I've been like in the hood, and then I kind of went to like a more lower middle class area. And I've been around upper class, and I see there's a big gap. They don't connect really at all. And the problem is a lot of the middle class and upper middle class blacks, they try to connect with the lower class blacks, or they try to empathize with them. That's how you have Black Lives Matter get born. If you look out in the audience or in the crowd of Black Lives Matter, it's typically mostly 80, 90% white. Very few blacks. And if there are blacks, you have those that aren't necessarily hood people out there. Some are like that, but not really. Not in the big cities especially. Maybe in Atlanta it's like that, but not really across the country. Because they want to try to connect to the hood and they can't. So they got to be part of some kind of cause to bridge that gap. You see what I'm saying? Any other day they couldn't talk to the hood people. But now I can be an advocate for the hood people. I'm Black Lives Matter. That's how that goes. They feel guilty. They can't connect with them. So now they want to go out there and help. But it didn't even ask for your help, really. They're asking for money and jobs, but not your help. If you're one of these liberals that want to go out there and be rescue ranger. But anyway, shows like that, talking about white Jesus is not real and talking about slavery in Africa, that's just so played out. Ain't nobody really worried about that. Like, go on Twitter, go on social media, go on Instagram. That's not a topic of conversation. People talking about lace front wigs and Jordans and rap. It's not this hyper intellectual, big brain, victim crying thing. That's pushed by the black liberal, I guess you would say elites, the politicians, and the white liberals who dominate a lot of your academia. That's what's going on. That's how that goes. So yeah, I'm not gonna be watching that show at all. I don't have Showtime. I'm not even a TV guy, really. I'm not a TV guy. I mean, I watch the news and I watch some sports, but that's pretty much it. I'm not even a TV guy. So all these shows, all these subscriptions, HBO Plus, Cinemax Plus, Showtime Plus, minus X, Y, and Z times infinity, plus, it's just too much going on. I can't do nothing with it. Too much. It's to the point where if you get all these subscriptions, you have a bill higher than your old school cable bill. Cable bill back in the day, you had Cox cable back in VA, you had Cox cable. You had one bill, pay for your little set-top box, your bill, and that was it. Now you got Disney Plus, Hulu Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Cinemax Plus Prime, All Black Plus Prime. Too much going on. But I move on. Yeah, I'm not. All these shows are not really original. They're not really good. They're not interesting. It's not something I want to see. So to get a non-TV watcher to watch it, you got to be doing more than what you're doing. This is pretty lazy. And you really just capitalizing on the news and what they've done with the whole Trump thing. It just, giving you more of the same. If you watch the January 6th reactions for a year, well, you get more of it here. I think you have Linda Sarsour in it. And Linda Sarsour, if I saw her without her Muslim garb on, I think she's white. I don't even really see how she's much of a difference between, I see the nose, but I can't really tell. For me, I don't really see the big racial differences like some may see it. But I don't know. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to show her right quick because she's in the actual little documentary here. So she's, I think, Lebanese or something like that. I mean, without all the Muslim gear on, I'm not sure that I see that she's anything other than a regular white person. Looks kind of ethnic, I guess, but I'm thinking maybe some kind of Greek or Southern European or something like that. But it gets weird because Southern Europe, like the Balkan areas, North Macedonia, stuff like that, that was part of the Ottoman Empire at one point, and also the OG Roman Empire, which included North Africa, the Levant, parts of Turkey, maybe. I mean, how was a Turk not like a Greek? Different story. I digress. The point is that I can't really tell that much of a big difference. You see what I'm saying? I didn't really know how you had Italians and Irish were different until I got to be kind of like almost an adult. Because me, when I was a kid, everybody's black like me. Everybody's dark skinned. To see a light skinned person was rare. So to see different types of whites, I'm like, I don't know. That's probably the average person as well. You know, getting back to the whole thing about the ethnic stuff. If you saw a Uyghur and the Han Chinese, it'd probably be the same to you for the most part. If you never really seen them a lot in your everyday walking life, but they know how it's different. Whoopi Goldberg is another one. She sees race just black and white. That was me when I was like 12, but not now at 37. I know a little bit more now than what I did back then, but I move on. Christian F says they have mustaches. If you're Turkish women have mustaches. That's hilarious. All right, but I get to the super chats and move right along. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. If you like what you heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let me get super chats. Keep on rocking. And what's today's date? The 9th? Okay, let's go ahead and start there. And we got quite a few today. Okay, let me just go back. Thank you to Kaius Posthumous, who says, ABL, how about the feds taking the truckers' gas? Yeah, so, I mean, you couldn't even have gas up there. Like, it was illegal to bring canisters of gas. They're talking about stuff like that being somehow violent. Oh, they're bringing them canisters of gas. Therefore, they're aiding and abetting in some kind of unlawful insurrection. They used the word insurrection today on the news. Speaking about, I'm like, really? Insurrection? Guys in trucks honking their horn? Is that an insurrection? And you know what? When they had January 6th happen, I figured they would do this. They would say certain words over and over again, talking about that, driving fear, and then they would just use it again. Because they already drove the fear point home. They already did that kind of work. It's already kind of work for a lot of people. Whenever they hear insurrection and Trump supporters, it's like a dog whistle. They react immediately. So when they use it again for the Canadian convoy, oh, they racist, they Trump supporters, they Nazis, the stupidest thing in the world. But that's how, unfortunately, some people are. They're easily trained like dogs. Also, he says, how about the feds raiding congressional members? I've not heard about that. I had to look into it. Thank you to Josh, who says, what's up, ABL? Have you heard anything more about Juicy Smouye? No, I've not heard about Juicy Smouye. He got found guilty of the hate crime, but now we await sentencing. So that's going to be the next thing. Did you just get a slap on the wrist? Hope you're doing well. Hey, thank you, man. But I've not heard about a sentence. Well, hopefully he'll get more than just a slap on the wrist. But we'll see. Thank you to Tyrone for your donation. Thank you to Doug, who says, since Apple isn't here, I asked the random question, do you prefer muffins or scones? I don't know what a scone is. I probably had it, but if you were to tell me to draw a picture of a scone, I wouldn't know what that is. What is that? Oh, these little things. I've had those like at a hotel or something, but I'm not really too familiar with those. So I'll say muffin. Yeah, that's above my fancy meter. That's above my fancy line, like your man said. But anyway, Suzanne says, keep up the great work, ABL. You're the best. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Apple, who says, shout out to Dope Ripley Pancakes or waffles. Waffles all day long. Love waffles. Oh my goodness. When I was a kid, my friend's mom would make those for us on Sunday. Oh man, I never forget. You go over there Sunday morning. I had these 2 big dogs playing with the dogs. And then she had some kind of batter. I don't know what she had in that batter, and she had this waffle press. It was like endless waffles. Endless. I'm a big boy too. I'm like probably like at the time 15, 16, and I'm like 240 pounds. I'm big. And I'm like the same size I am right now. I'm like 6'3" right now. I'm about 210, 215 right now. But back then I was a good 240. Like football ready, but not playing football. You understand? Big for no reason. Tearing them pancakes up. Oh my goodness. So yeah. And you know what? When I go to any kind of hotel, actually it's to the point now, if I go to a hotel, if I book a hotel, I'm trying to go to like a Holiday Inn Express because they got the waffle maker. You go get the little thing they got in the cup, go down to the lobby, make your waffles. I'm good. I'll be in there tearing waffles up. But I don't want to get like chicken and waffles on. That's not really the wave. Just regular waffles. I'm good on the press. No Eggos or no disgusting stuff like that. If you put them in the toaster, I'm like, sir, can you get a little bit more, culture? Put them on the press, fresh. How was I 15 at 240? Man, eating too much, man. Eating them good hamburgers and pizzas, man. When I was like probably about 10, I went to Roanoke for the summer because I went to Roanoke in West Virginia for the summer, and I was kind of small before I left. When I went there, I'm eating heavy. Granny had all kind of snacks and stuff. I came back huge, big growth spurt, gained a bunch of weight. Yeah, I was big, but anyway. But like football, like if you was to see me, you'd be like, okay, what like you playing football, big boy? Like that, I always got that when I was a kid. Thank you to Deborah for the emoji donation. Thank you to Fauna Faye, who says this is the most insulting thing you could have done to the black community, aside from that infamous quote. Yeah, hey man, vote for me or you ain't black. Hit this crack pipe. Hey, hit this or you ain't black. How about that? You might as well have said that. Same thing to me. Apple also says, Ivan wants free crack pipe, where it's called. Fauna Faye says, vax science equals complicated. Crack science equals no-brainer. They trying to cancel Adele for saying she loves being a woman. Yeah, I saw that. So I'll play that audio right quick. I probably can't play the video because it's some kind of European award show or something like that. But, okay. So here's the context before I play the video. Here's the context. So, the Brit Awards normally have male artist of the year and female artist of the year. But Sam Smith got triggered, got all in his feelings and said, well, it shouldn't be gender separated. It should be one gender for the award. It should be best artist of the year. It shouldn't be transphobic. You see what I'm saying? Because male and female, that's like what you gonna have, male, female, trans, that's not right. It shouldn't be gendered. So Adele won the award and she gave her 2 cents on the whole renaming situation.
Well, the name of this award has changed, but I really love being a woman and being a female artist. I do. I'm really proud of us. I really, really am. Thank you so much. Well, the name of this award has changed, but I really love being a woman and being a female artist. I do.
So she was like, hey, the name of the award changed, but I love being a female artist. I love being a woman. So for saying that she loves being a woman, she's labeled as, what they call it, a TERF, trans, exclusionary, radical feminist, stuff like that. Transphobic is like, what's wrong with saying that you love being yourself, that you love yourself? Why is that a bad thing to say? We need more of that because, quite frankly, a lot of these people don't love themselves and they want to go out there and harm people because they don't like who they see in the mirror. They don't like themselves, so they want to harm others. So the award was changed to Artist of the Year. So rather than just male Artist of the Year, female Artist of the Year, just Artist of the Year. No gender before artist. Okay. But we'll move right along. So yeah, shout out to Adele for keeping it all the way real. And shout out to the crowd as well for cheering for letting you know how they feel, how they stand. All right. Yeah, shout out to Rich Paul. I already know what time it is with Rich Paul, but I'll move on. Thank you to Apu, who says, defund U.S. Capitol Police. They spy on Republicans. Also, J6, inside job by Pelosi and FBI. McConnell approved. Thank you to Apu, who says, reminder, Pence, Barr, McConnell, Graham are traitors. That's all Batman Carey says, hashtag keep fighting, build a get home bag, Iran, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. That hashtag 917 is coming and, quote, there are 4 lights, unquote, trench rats unite. Thank you to Final Faye, who says, India Irie tried to cancel Rogan with the N-word vid, now backtracking saying she doesn't think that he is racist. Girl by stay irrelevant and in 2003. I am not my hair, huh? Thank you for the super chat, Final Faye. Thank you to Apple, who says, God bless J6, MAGA Patriots in DC jail. Also, shout out to Candace Owens, who's having a baby. Yes, she's having baby number 2. Shout out to Candace. Congrats to Candace Owens and her husband, George. So, yeah, and baby's due in July. So, shout out to them for yet another, baby in the bunch. The anti-view says, what do Nino Brown, Tanya Harding, and Joe Biden have in common? They all like pipes. Thank you to Byron8899, who says, on DHS government website, a bulletin claims that misinformation, which undermines government institutions, are a terrorist threat. What's your thoughts on this? Well, that sounds like North Korea or something like that, right? Where if you say the wrong thing against the government, you get put in the gulag. Old school Russia, China, same thing. That seems pretty dystopian. 1984. Like, you should be able to have freedom of speech in this country, right? I thought we had that in the Constitution. Freedom of speech. Misinformation. That shouldn't be no terrorist act. But that's crazy. I've not seen that. Thank you to Apple, who says, ABL, favorite toppings on your burger, hot dog. Well, hot dog's a whole different story. Because my kind of hot dog is a West Virginia style hot dog. You gotta have it if you never had it. Go to Tamarack and Berkeley and Beckley. Go up there and get one. They'll get it kind of right. Tudors or something like that. You can go get one, but really, a good hot dog, you gotta kind of burn the dog, toast the bun. You gotta put slaw on the hot dog. You gotta put ketchup, mustard, onion. The slaw kind of redundant, but definitely the slaw, ketchup, mustard, and just whatever. Like, we used to put chili dogs with slaw on it. Pizza dogs, I've had those West Virginia before, where it's like a pizza but a hot dog at the same time. It's hard to explain, but West Virginia dogs, always the wave. You got to get that nice square, kind of like Hawaiian bread, toast that, or put it on the grill. You good. The baseball hot dogs ain't hitting on 2 cents. But as far as a hamburger, I'm pretty basic with that. Give me a hamburger with tomato, lettuce, ketchup, and I'm good money. I don't need too much on it. Yeah. But get that slaw on that hot dog, though. Burned up, crisp the skin of the hot dog, crisp it, put the slaw on it, put some chili on it with a little bit of cheese. Just beautiful. All right. The anti-view says, farmers and miners join the truck drivers in Canada. Do they not understand who they're messing with? Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Shaking my head. Exactly. 100%. Apple also says, why hasn't Alec Baldwin been arrested yet? Hey, good question. Got that celebrity protection. Front of Face says they put the nuttiest people in the everything is going to be all white doc. So obsessed with white people, but talk about them being obsessed with us. Exactly. 100%. And they're not obsessed with us. It's the other way around. We're obsessed with them. We want to be like them. They want to be like them. Not me, not you, but they want to be like them. That's why they always talk about them so much. The anti-view says, I'm asking, are we there yet? 1 year later, has Ice Cube gotten the meeting yet? Bryant saying Friday. Oh, next Friday. Oh, Friday after next. And you know what? I think Ice Cube's pretty much not even a factor in the Biden administration. Pretty much ignoring them. Apu says, ABL favorite Looney Tunes character, Bugs, Sam. Yosemite Sam, Racker Fracker. Was that him? Racker Fracker Varmint. That's my man. The anti-view says, how is making those smoking kits? Sounds like that is laundering more money than Hunter's art. Oh, yeah. Oh, who's making the smoking kits? Probably China. I would presume so. I don't think it's probably not a crack pipe manufacturing place anywhere in the States. Probably in China or somewhere, and they're getting money from that. That's probably what that is. Thank you to Josh who says, hey, ABL, you're going to miss, Emus is going to watch Everything's Going to Be All Right Friday night. I don't know about that. I probably would watch it just so I know what's going on, but not to be like sitting down with some popcorn and checking it out. That ain't the wave. Thank you to the anti-view says, Tyrus on Rogan situation, quote, maybe it's time you stop using us African Americans to do your dirty work and fight your battles. Well, there you go. Megan B says, hey fam, what tooth products do you use? You have perfect teeth. Love from Texas. Oh, thank you for that. Nothing really. I think one thing is that you're kind of seeing my skin and my teeth kind of contrast because I'm dark skinned, so my teeth kind of pop out. But I do take care of my teeth though. But the main thing, I just got the peroxide toothpaste. I brush after every meal. I gargle with peroxide. That's always a plus. So peroxide is your friend. Gargle with that. Brush, after you eat. Get up in the morning after you eat, and do it that way. So that's pretty much all I do. But thank you for your comment. Thank you to Butt vs. Windshield who says leeching was used to take out bad blood so we can make fresh blood. Science says it doesn't work. So why wear masks? Like putting leeches on your face. Exactly. If it doesn't work, why are we doing it? For theater, nothing more. Thank you to Miss Poppy for your donation. Thank you to V Ladder who says you're a great one. Thank you. Butt vs. Windshield says second Trudeau cabinet member just quit. Minister Jane Philpott, Treasury, and yesterday Liberal Party Chair PM of Quebec, Joel Lightbound, quit as well. Both Liberal Party members who quit Trudeau are very well connected, and they would not have left if they didn't have support from within. Truckers win. Thank you to Farner Faye who says the section you were talking about is Kensington and Allegheny. That's in the heart of North Philly, right under the bridge. Same for Front and Girard. Yeah, I've seen some of them videos. It's crazy out there. It's a madhouse. And if I live right there, I wouldn't want to. Thank you to Doug Webb for your donation. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox who says BLM is the greatest white supremacist group in the history of the mankind. Prove me wrong. My pronouns are Your Majesty, Your Highness, Sire, Elt. Thank you to Matthew who says a week or two ago, Tucker Carlson mentioned Comrade Blackface's possible Cuban communist roots. Now all centrists and right-wing YouTubers are saying Trudeau Castro. Have you noticed this new trend? I've been saying that. I said that years ago. They look the exact same. Have you ever seen them side by side, like in the picture? I mean, they look the exact same. If that's not his dad, I can't tell. They look the same. Okay, matter of fact, hold on. Like when they were younger, especially, there's no difference. I'm trying to find the side by side because I'm seeing pictures on Google. That's not really doing them justice. But if you see them side by side, like in his younger days, especially before the beard, you can really see it. Matter of fact, hold on. Here's one. Come on. These guys are twins. Now, maybe, just maybe, they have similar ethnic origins. Just maybe, you understand, because they're both obviously European descent. But come on. I mean, copy and paste. Like, take their beard away. You could swap their beard, and it's the same person. I don't see the difference. The same nose, eyes, mouth, head shape, everything. Call Maury, get him on the case, and figure out who this guy really is. If that's not his dad, they're related some kind of way. Do a DNA test. Do a DNA test. I mean, come on, man. Like, stop. I can't say for sure that that's his dad, but they're related some kind of way. If they're not, then that's crazy. All right, let me get back to the other ones here. Okay. Also, Matthew says Trudeau once in the Globalist Club. He didn't get his invitation and didn't get his dream job at the UN. Now he's pushing Canada to comply with whatever global big brain ideas cooked up by World Economic Federation or Foundation, UN, etc. Thank you to Jay Hay, who says, hey, ABL, love you, man. I could go deep, but when you have the opportunity, please watch the Money Masters Rise of Bankers doc. It was my red pill in 2008, was created 93, 94. Help explain a lot of what we're dealing with. I'll check it out for sure. Thank you to Les, who says, hello, ABL and fam. You are right on point, sir. I love your show tonight. We've been busy packing. We are moving, but no, we've been watching closely as a family. Little Patriot says, hello, God bless. Thank you for that, and shout out to y'all. Glad y'all are doing well. Thank you to Matthew, who says, thank you, ABL, for showcasing Freedom Convoy. It's now a grassroots worldwide movement. Cooperation is achieved naturally, not by globalist schemes. 100%. It takes all of us to be on the same page. So I got your back, for sure. Thank you to Daddy Mad. I know I told your name up, my fault. Who says, I proudly identify as a neon white ABL fan, and my pronouns are let's go Brandon, hashtag truckers lives matter. Thank you for that. I appreciate you for your donation. And thank you to Butt versus Windshield, who says, I bet on SB. Bet on SB. I got the Tigers. Or Super Bowl. I got the Tigers. You get the sheep. I lose by 50 super chat. If you lose 50 to Wounded Warrior. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Well, thank you for your super chat. Definitely appreciate you. But I got calls on deck. And the number to call, if you didn't know, is 434-658-1220. It's right there in the ticker. It's always in the description box. 434-658-1220. Go ahead and call in right now. There's also a Skype email in the description box. If Skype works improperly, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man because I don't take responsibility for this weird technology. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So let's go ahead and get rocking. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's start it up. Let's go. All right, you're on line. Speaker to 773. You want to speak it to?
ABL, it's your. All
right, you sound kind of distorted. Are you on speaker or something?
I was. Hold on one second. Does that sound better?
Yeah, I think you're good now. So go ahead.
Okay. My voice is a little hoarse. First of all, with the crack pipe, we can get Marion Barry to, endorse the crack pipes. The Washington, D.C. mayor who got caught smoking the pipe.
Yeah.
So that might be good. You can have commercials with him endorsing the crack pipes and everything else. Also, ABL, excuse me, a couple of days ago, just around the corner from where Jussie Smollett had his little fiasco, there was a shootout with Chicago police and some carjackers. So when a car has been carjacked, we could take the plate, plug it into a system. There's cameras around the city, especially downtown, because this happened right on the Gold Coast. And the plate readers read all the cars as they go by, and then it hits on, stolen cars. And that's what happened with this, in this one incident. So the car was stuck at a red light. A tactical car came and blocked it off. As they backed up, they couldn't back up in traffic, and the passengers started shooting at the police. The police shot back at the people in the car. There were 3 guys. The shooter got a small graze wound, and that was it. He's charged no bond with attempted murder of a police officer. The driver is only charged with the possession of a stolen motor vehicle, and he also has a warrant for an outstanding gun charge. And the guy in the back seat had a gun on him, but he can also get bond. So, you're letting these guys go on bond. And, they're shooting at the police. You're all together in this. It's ridiculous. You could see that video. It's only 1 minute long. It's a raw footage. It's CPD and gun battle with carjackers, 1 minute long. And it's a raw footage from a camera that's on a telephone pole. And they just have a shootout with the police. It's unbelievable what's happening in this country. It really is, with crime and letting people go and letting these career criminals commit crime after crime after crime. These other two guys, they're able to get bond and able to have a bracelet on. They don't, I mean, that doesn't matter to them.
Yeah. It's really crazy out here.
Yeah, give a look-see to that video. Like I said, it's only 1 minute long. CPD, Chicago Police Department, and shootout with carjackers on Lower Wacker. It's, like I said, a quick minute. All right, thanks, ABL. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, this whole thing with the police being attacked, it's a mess out here in the streets. It really is. And the phone lines are blowing up, so y'all please bear with me. I try to get everybody on as soon as I can. 360, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 360.
Hey, ABL. My name's Brennan. I just turned 18 from the brilliant state of Washington. And I was calling in because I'm attending a community college right now, getting my AA, and Washington's pretty liberal, so in a lot of my classes, the topics of like socialism, communism, things like that come up. And my teachers often, as one, they say they're pretty supportive of socialism, and they say in communism, and they say it doesn't work because the U.S. like intervened with countries that tried to have it work. I'm wondering, I haven't had any instruction on why people think socialism is bad, so I'm wondering if you can just give me why it's bad, why communism is bad.
Okay, now this could be a long answer, but I'll give you a condensed version. Well, the most obvious reason why it's bad is because it never works. It always fails. It can't work because one of the main things that happens under socialism, which is kind of the same as communism, but just a little bit different, you have a lack of innovation in society because everything is kind of managed by the government. Like what's happening in Cuba is that they have like a lot of old cars and stuff like that on the road because, I mean, you don't really have trade the way it's supposed to. You can't really innovate. You can't really, like China, they tried to be more socialist and more communist, but they couldn't really sustain themselves economically. They got to open up to the world and be able to build things for others, be able to have innovation. And they're still kind of controlled. So what they do rather than innovate is steal. They, have a lot of intellectual property theft. Over here in the States, we innovate. We create things that the whole world wants. We create all types of, the iPhone. A few years ago, it didn't exist. There was no such thing as a smartphone a few years ago. Cell phones, everything. We innovate. We create new things. You can't really do that under socialism because it's all about the government trying to maintain things. The government does not really run society properly. It's people that run society properly. We innovate. We create things. We have freedom to do things. Under socialism, it doesn't really work. You run out of money, and it all falls apart. USSR, Venezuela, Cuba, the same story is repeated over and over again. You can only kind of save that kind of system when you bring capitalism in. And if you want to have socialism, if you want to have socialism still, you got to eliminate human rights. That's China.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So do you know why are Democrats leaning towards socialism? Why?
Because they want power and they want to shape the country in their own image. What they eventually want is to have death by 1,000 cuts. And they want to go to a more China direction, which is a one-party system. That's what they want. They don't really want opposition. They don't want debate. They don't want exchange. They want to have one party to where they can have the country be what they want it to be. That's all it's about. Because I think some people know in the Democratic Party that these things are not going to work. Some are brainwashed and they believe things are going to work. Like you may be going to certain classes and you're being taught that these things are good, that they can work properly if people just kind of got out the way. They really believe that, but those that are really behind the scenes and pulling the strings, they know it won't work. But the purpose is to destroy the country so you can have control over the country, just like China.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I'll be watching the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, it's really about power because you know what? I'm going to add this to it as well. And shout out to the young man for calling, 18 years old. Hey, great. But who's my man that was former KGB? Yuri Bezmenov. Yuri Bezmenov was talking about this. Man, what was he saying? He was talking about, a lot of the academics, they think that they're going to be the ones in charge. They're going to be the ones that control things. They're going to be the ones who have the ideas that everybody wants, and they're going to be the ones that are at the front of the table calling the shots. The future is all female. That's what they think, right? But then once you actually get what they're looking for, once you actually get socialism, communism, whatever, they'll be the first ones lined up and shot because they know too much, and they're going to be angry and disillusioned when they realize that they can't be in control, that they won't be the ones out there in front, that they won't be the ones with the power. All they were was just a pawn in the whole game. That's all it is. I mean, we see it. Michael Avenatti was a prime example. His role was to attack Trump for a year or however long he was on TV. They gassed him up. Oh, you could be the president, man. You'd be great. You would destroy Trump. Gassed him up. But as soon as he fell, they X'd him out and totally tossed him away like garbage. That's how they operate. It'll be the same way with all these liberal professors talking about they want to have socialism. That's how it goes. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? I just hope one day, the conservatives who call in, man, they just stop being so clueless as to why liberals do what they do. I mean, who cares? Why? I mean, it's like we know why they want socialism. We know why they push censorship. It's just for power. Like, for some of us to just still be just behind the curve and not understand what's going on. It's like, have you been watching the media for the past 4 years? Have you not been watching the bias? Have you not been seeing the double standards when you protest? They send the full extent of the law against you. And we saw that with the January 6th and how the media is trying to make this seem like it's a 9/11 style attack. When it wasn't an attack, it was just a protest. And they say nothing about Black Lives Matter. And for us to still be, well, why? Come on, man. It's double standards. Do you see anyone from the Biden administration leaking anything out? The Biden administration? No, because the Biden administration is a part of the status quo. All of the intelligence services, they like this type of quiet White House where the president doesn't shake anything up, where the president doesn't do anything new, where the president doesn't challenge anything. So there's not going to be any whistleblowers coming out of Biden. There's not going to be any leaks coming out because this is what they like. This is just a double standard. And like for us to just be calling and just so clueless, well, why is this happening? And I mean, this is why we remain reactionary. This is why we are never proactive, because we're still clueless, and liberals are not clueless. They say we do this because you are a bunch of racists. That's what they say. You are a bunch of racist, sexist, homophobes who need teaching, who need to be controlled. This is why we have a double standard. So yeah, man, I just hope the conservatives stop being so confused. But the other thing I want to ask you about is this. In the Trump administration, I feel like his administration was being sabotaged. Do you think Trump may have made a mistake when he had too many status quo Republicans in his cabinet? I say things like, for example, FBI Director Chris Ferre, who goes in front of Congress and says one of the main enemies that America is facing is white supremacist groups. Like, what do you think? Do you think he had too many status quo Republicans in his cabinet?
I think he had some, but at the same time, it's like you had some guys that appeared to be different, appeared to be not status quo. Like, what was that, Anthony Scaramucci? And then he was just straight leftist. So it's like, it's hard to tell sometimes who you really have. Are they in your corner or not? That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, man, he should have kept Steve Bannon, man. Anytime the media attacks somebody, Trump should have said, okay, I need you front and center. I feel like Steve Bannon was pushed out by the more neo-conservative who doesn't rock the boat, who kind of want the status quo where all we do is invade other countries, but we don't fight for anything in our domestic policy. And I think that's why they push Bannon out. And I feel like if Trump runs again, because I don't know if you notice now he's going back and forth with Mike Pence. He needs to have a cabinet of just people who, first of all, who are not in the mainstream, and second of all, who really believe in what he stands for. Like, we can't get these people who just call themselves Republican get in, because all they're going to do is they're going to leak, and they're going to write books, and they're going to make it look like the Republican Party has chaos, man. And, I'm saying this because the 2022 elections is coming up. And I just hope everyone who votes for Trump has been more radicalized to where they're only putting Republicans in power who fight. Like, we can't have any weaklings in power, meaning when you get into power, you are going to fight for things that benefit Americans and benefit conservatives, to where if liberals ever get into power, they can't just override it. And that's all I got to say, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Take care.
All right, great call. Let's get to a few more here. Let's go to, y'all hang tight for me right quick. And we're going to go, all right, let's do 516 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL.
What's going on?
Yo, ABL. It's Mitch Connor. So I have something to say about these crack pipes. This crack pipe thing, it's the most dumbest thing ever. I've smoked crack maybe 75 times. I used to be a cokehead, heroin addict, but occasionally I would smoke crack. I knew crackheads, I've hung around them, and I tell you that they do not get rid of their pipes unless they break. They'll hang on to their pipes for years. They hang on to their pipes because they build up resin, and they can scrape up that resin to get a few extra hits at the end of the night. I even knew a guy that had a half-broken crack pipe. He could have easily went down the block and got a new pipe at the gas station for like 99 cents. But he hung on onto that pipe. So this whole idea of some crack pipe exchange thing, bro, no crackhead is giving up their pipe for a new one. It just ain't happening. And they sure as hell ain't going to like Uptown Hall exchange program to get a pipe when every gas station in the city has one. $30 million, man, this whole thing is a waste of our money. And it's just nuts, man. And the thing with them trying to get heroin addicts to smoke it instead of like using needles, it's not possible to smoke powder like heroin or fentanyl. The heroin would burn very quickly. You won't be able to even like get a hit. Like it'll just evaporate. And people get the pipes mixed up. The long pipes with the bowl at the end, those are meth pipes. Like no one uses those for crack. Like the crack doesn't burn properly, so no one uses those. The government would most likely give out like stump crack pipes, like the short 4-inch ones, like 2 pipes, like the ones you see in like the movies, like the crackhead smoking. And so like the famous picture of Hunter, like on the bed with the bowl pipe, people say he's like a crackhead. I say nah, he's a crackhead and a meth head. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got to say. ABL. Love your show, long time listener. You were one of the greats. Have a good night, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bud.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I was thinking about too, because it's like if you smoke crack, you know how to get a pipe. It's not like something you're going to have a hard time getting. It's not like some kind of unattainable thing to do. You can get a crack pipe. So why they got to hand out free crack pipes? I mean, the whole thing just makes no sense. It's just kind of where we are right now. We do things that just make absolutely zero sense. For what reason, I don't really know, but I will move on to the next call. And let's go to 518. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi. Sorry, hold on. Hi. So I'm calling from Western New York, and I just wanted to say that I don't know if I should say I have a friend or should I just say me, but I guess they can't see who I am on.
That's right.
on the live. So, but I work at a pharmacy, and they said starting February at some point where people who are not vaccinated are going to have to get tested weekly, and they're going to have to pay for their test out of pocket because they're unvaccinated. And I just don't understand that, because it's like people who are vaccinated, they're also getting COVID, or I don't know if I should say that on here, but they're getting that. So, and they don't have to pay for their test. So I just thought that was kind of strange that people who are unvaccinated that work in the pharmacy, they have to pay to get COVID tested. But the vaccinated people don't have to pay.
So wait a minute. So, okay, if you're not vaxxed, you got to get tested. And if you are, do you not get tested, or do you get tested as well?
If you are vaccinated, you don't have to get tested. But if you are, sick, if you feel like you have symptoms, you can get tested, but you don't have to pay. But if you're unvaccinated, you have to pay for those tests. And either way, you have to get tested weekly. So you're going to be paying for those tests weekly.
You know what it seems like to me? It seems like it's punitive. They're trying to punish you for not being vaxxed, and they're trying to coerce you to getting vaxxed because financially it'll make more sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was speaking to the head of the staffing at my job, that it just seems like it doesn't make sense, because everyone's, we all could get COVID either way, vaccinated or unvaccinated. So why does the unvaccinated employees have to pay for the tests? Like, they did offer 3 free tests, just 3, but then after that, we would have to pay out of pocket.
Mm. Yeah, that's
so
not,
I just thought I'd put that out there, because it's funny, because at the pharmacy, I work as a pharmacy technician, and I have to administer these tests to people. Like, people who come through our pharmacy drive-through, we give them the Q-tip and everything so they can, swab themselves so we could test them and everything. So it's like I put myself at risk, or I guess at risk, quote unquote, but that's what they say. But I can't get free testing, especially that I work for the company. At that, I only get 3 free testing, and I have to pay for my testing weekly after those 3 tests are used up, But it hasn't started yet, but they said sometime in February.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to put that out there, just so people understand how they're trying to somewhat force us to get the jab.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's all it's about force, and they're starting to kind of back off of that in the federal government. So the timing is just so weird. I think people just doing things for no real reason other than because they can, and they're getting bad advice. I don't know. It's just really weird right now. So hopefully this comes to an end pretty soon, because people are pretty much tired of it.
Yeah, it seems like, because they said it was actually supposed to start in the beginning of February, but it hasn't started yet. So I'm thinking they're getting a lot of pushback, because I haven't gotten the jab yet at all. And I'm hoping that the majority of people over in Western New York are also, not falling for it, because honestly, if they decided to go through with it where we had to pay for it, I was trying to figure out, because I've protested before for things I believe in. I'm just thinking, how can I protest this one? But I was definitely not going to pay for my tests past after those 3 free ones were up, if they did decide to go that route. But hopefully they continue not going that route.
Right. Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's like paying for the test. If people that are vaxxed don't have to pay, and you're unvaccinated, you got to pay. It's just about being punitive to force you to go get it for no actual reason. It's not science based because it said that. It's not even really. It's just so dumb. It's all dumb, and I think people are done with it. That's why the mask mandates are kind of going away. Vax mandates would be next. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Hey, do you remember I told you a while ago that Virginia started their bag tax in the grocery store?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've seen a lot of people using the self-checkout now.
Well, I would presume so because they don't want to pay that money.
Exactly. Even at the self-checkout, they have workers there. I remember one time a worker actually was looking what I was doing. I didn't press anything for bags, so I didn't pay for any bags. The worker didn't even do anything.
Nah, they're not gonna do nothing to you. I mean, like they're just sitting there, probably playing on their iPhone and letting you just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Also, with the mask mandate, well, before Governor Youngkin kind of took it out, I never knew there was actually an actual mandate in Virginia, because where I live, they weren't enforcing that at all. When I saw the signs that said mask required, I thought that they just left it there, and they didn't do anything. But no, I was also wondering, why are all these people wearing masks in the building? And I never knew that actually had a mandate because even the workers were not even enforcing them.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. And it's like that all over the country, really. Like even in a place like New York, where they have, I think at Trump Tower, people were kind of like concerned because they had these mandates or the vax mandate signs everywhere. But if you go on the Trump Tower, ain't nobody checking it, so the signs mean nothing.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny how they're talking about listen to the authorities, but yet they're not even enforcing what the authorities want us to do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, have you heard the apology from Stacey Abrams?
Yeah, I played that a little bit earlier.
Okay, yeah, I didn't catch that. Yeah, she after not apologizing and talking about, it's Black History Month. I can't believe that you try to use our Black History Month event to try to spread some type of propaganda. She finally said she apologized. I mean, where was this before?
I mean, I think what happened was it was such a big story and the original response wasn't good enough. So they're like, man, you got to go out there and say something else. So they crafted a narrative for her to go out there and repeat. And she pretty much just read it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, especially when they have, I think they either a clip or a tweet where she said that she wanted to make sure that she's protecting the kids, yet though she's not wearing a mask.
I mean, like the whole thing is crazy. And then she's talking about, I took a picture. It's like, okay, well, why do you need to take a mask off for the picture? If the kids are wearing the picture and masking the picture, why can't you? Like the whole story was just bogus. If she was being real, she would just say, you know what, I ain't wanting to wear it because it's dumb. Just say that and move on. But you can't say that because it's not politically correct.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of when I went to the town hall meeting in Baltimore and listened to Biden, how they mentioned we all need to wear masks. Biden and Anderson Cooper never wore masks, which I understood it initially because they're talking on the stage. However, when we went to commercial break, Biden never put on a mask, and he was going around to people, shaking people's hands and taking pictures with them without a mask. I thought we're supposed to be masked up. We're supposed to be safe for the COVID, but yet though you're not wearing a mask during commercial break. You're 80-something years old. You're supposed to be in that high risk bracket.
But I guess commercial breaks are safe from the virus.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, my last one. I tried I tried to listen to, no, not listen. I tried to watch the Olympics, the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And after that first one, after the first day, I mean, I just couldn't.
it was too much going on.
No, I mean, it's the principle. I mean,
yeah,
is in there in China. They don't supposed to be there. I do feel kind of bad for the athletes because they are in a predicament. It is their livelihood. It's kind of messed up how they're doing this whole diplomatic protest where the politicians don't want to go, but yet the athletes are still going. It's kind of feel like in a lose-lose situation, especially when this is their livelihood and they've been practicing the whole time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but you know, at the same time, like it's not their fault that it's like this. You know, the athletes, it just going out there, performing, enjoying what they do. It's the politics behind it that's the problem.
Right, exactly. And I don't know if you noticed, but Google back in the summertime, I mean, they had a Google Doodle for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. For Winter Olympics, they're not doing anything with it.
It's too toxic. They don't want to touch it. You know, like they don't want to get involved with saying that China is, you know, messing up and with the whole Uyghur stuff. They don't really want to say that, but at the same time, they don't want to support it and then get accused of supporting it. So it's a mess.
Yeah. And by the way, you remember when China in the summertime they tried to fudge their gold medal numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least with the Paralympics in the summertime, they won most gold in there. with the Olympics. Anyway, oh yeah, last one.
Real quick though.
Even with the Google, they had Google Doodle for the whole summer Paralympics, but not doing anything with the Winter Olympics.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Great call from my man Victor. I got super chat right there from Writer84, just right quick. It says, should Buckhead leave the ATL? Yep. I think Buckhead is going to leave Atlanta because Atlanta, the part of the reason why Atlanta has become so dangerous is because of the lack of proper leadership in the city. That's what it is. So if Buckhead leaves Atlanta, it's kind of a protest as well because a lot of Atlanta's money comes from Buckhead. So it's like, look, man, we're going to take this money. We're going to take all our resources away, and y'all got to do with it however you can. I build a whole wall around Buckhead and carry it like that. But they're going to have their own police force and everything else and operate their city properly the way it's supposed to be, rather than this kind of ramshackle roughshod type situation. But let me get to the next one. 808 on the line. Am I speaker to?
You're going to take our resources away.
Hello, 808.
Yeah, Mario.
All right, what's going on?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just had to, comment on some things, man. I am probably like only the few liberals that probably call your show. I would think.
Okay.
I don't know you guys probably conservative or whatnot, man. But I heard some of the callers and stuff, man. I've really heard some really crazy things that's coming from some of you conservatives. Like one of the callers said, "Oh, he should have kept Steve Bannon." Really, Steve Bannon? Like,
why is that? Why is that a bad thing?
I mean, it's sad that you even asking me this question, bro. Like, Steve Bannon is not a guy, but he is a radical right winger.
But why?
I mean, he over there talking about putting stormtroopers. Him and Gates talking about putting stormtroopers but because they incite that craziness, man, violence and stuff like that.
You're not being specific though. Like, give me something I can just sink my teeth into so we can talk about it.
Oh man, let me see. Like we was talking about, like I said, like he was talking about putting down stormtroopers. bringing out stormtroopers and stuff like that.
What was the context of that? What was he talking about with the storm? I've not heard that particular thing.
The voting stuff, man. You can go on YouTube, man. You can find out. You're talking to Matt Gaetz about that. But the main thing is it's just like how you guys just turn a blind eye to like January the 6th, and then you guys talk about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, man. But in a certain sense, about like both of the incidents was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really condone violence on each side, though. But when you have your politicians out there saying that it was BLM out there, I mean, you guys don't say anything about that. How many black people you seen? You seen the clips, man. You don't see no black people out there. And why would black
all right,
lives
let's pause. Let's pause for a minute. So, do you think that BLM is a black organization?
Do I think it's a black organization?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, like,
if they're wait, hold on, sir, wait a minute, hold on. So if the if the answer is no, then why would you think that BLM had to be black if they were out there at the January 6th thing? You just said that you didn't see anybody black out there equating that to BLM, but you just said they're not a black organization. So why would you see black folks out there?
Okay, I kind of said yeah and no. You know what I mean? Yes, it's kind of like it was started by the 3 black women or whatnot, and it's actually mostly black people out there, but there are also white people, Latino people, and everything out there. But you're going to see a lot of black people out there. You know that?
No, actually not. No. Wait, sir. Wait a minute. That's not true. Now, if you're in Atlanta or somewhere like that, you're going to see BLM, be a lot of black folks in a place like Atlanta. But all across the country, we've seen these BLM riots and protests, and it's mostly white people. It's mostly whites. You can see all the, go to places like on the West Coast, Seattle, Portland, go to places like Chicago, go to Milwaukee. I mean, look at the whole Cal Rittenhouse thing. That was a BLM so-called protest, and everybody involved with the whole thing was white. Cal Rittenhouse was white, and the guys who shot were white. You might have seen 1 or 2 black guys in the whole mix. Everybody was white. It's this BLM is a mostly white movement started by some black lesbians. That's the reality.
It's not really, man. You see some of them states, man. There's a lot of black people. You see, what was that, Minnesota?
But see, check it out though. But do you hear yourself though? Let's listen to what I'm saying to you though. I'm telling you that the violence and the mayhem is being caused by mostly whites. And you're saying it's not. You're trying to tell me that it's black folks out there committing the crime. So who's the one that's saying things that are negative against black people? Is it me or you?
I'm not saying anything about black.
You just saying it because I'm talking about the riots and the protests happening. I'm saying it's mostly white folks causing it. You saying it's black folks. So who's right?
Look. Okay, listen. Let me explain. Okay, BLM. Like I said, it is okay. You can say that depending on what area you in, if it's going to be black or white or stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it was not BLM up in there.
I don't know that. I know it was some feds involved with that. I know.
Why would they?
I mean, why
not?
Why
would BLM storm the Capitol?
Because they were already. Sir. Wait a minute, sir. You asked me the question.
Go ahead.
Now, the reason why they would be in there because they were already there. Like I was in DC, not on January 6th, but I was in DC in October of 2020, and I saw Antifa and BLM out there. Then they remember they had that whole thing, the Black House Autonomous Zone. They set up shop right there. They had the Black Lives Matter Square right there in DC, right on 16th Street, right by the White House. So they were already right there. They had been camped out there for some months. So it didn't make sense to have them already be there and then engage in the riots and whatnot that they had already been engaging in all over the country.
I mean, they have no reason, even though they was there. It does not make any sense.
But they already had rioted right there. They already had rioted. Remember the whole thing with the church and they tried to burn the church down, and Trump came out there with the Bible. Remember that? That was BLM and Antifa that time. And when I was in DC, when I was in DC in October of 2020, I was seeing buildings boarded up. CVS had bullet holes in it. I was seeing that out there. So I saw the damage from BLM and Antifa when I was there just 2 months before the whole inauguration happened. So it didn't make sense for them to be out there doing the same thing they already had done 2 months before again.
Hey, man, it was no way, bro. The person that BLM and Antifa wanted out of the office, they was already out of the office. They've been voted out. There was no reason for them to storm the Capitol, bro. That was Trump supporters. That was clearly.
But see,
Trump
but how do
supporters.
you know? Because wait a minute,
Away.
sir. You don't really know who was there. You're just going off of what the media tells you and what you want to know. Because
No,
the thing about
I know, but I'm
sir, the thing about BLM, they're not necessarily going to do things that make sense. It doesn't make sense to go destroy a black neighborhood because you think Black Lives Matter. That does not make sense, but they did it anyway. So you think that it doesn't make sense for them to go storm the Capitol because the guy they wanted was out of office. But how does it make sense to destroy a black neighborhood if you're a black organization or you're for black people? That make no sense, but they did it anyway.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not for the violence, bro, on either side. But hey, man, come on, man. This ain't the first time this stuff happened. This stuff happens all the time.
What stuff? What stuff?
Look at the which one? The Rodney King.
Rodney King. You got to go back to 1992. You got to go back 30 years, sir. Let's stay in the past 5 years. Can we do that? You going back to the 90s? You going back to the Snoop Dogg and NWA? Trayvon Martin. What about Trayvon Martin? Who killed him?
What was it? A Mexican?
Okay, so why bring him up?
No, I'm just saying though. When people out there protesting, then.
What we talking about? Who's protesting?
No. No, probably not Trayvon Martin. I'm sorry, that's probably a bad example. But man, come on, man. You see, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure you have seen. Oh, what's that other guy? Freddie Gray or something like that.
What about him?
I mean, that stuff happens all the time.
What about
like this happen,
who killed? Wait, sir. Sir. What about Freddie Gray? What about him? What happened?
Well, he got stopped by the cops, didn't he?
He got stopped by the cops?
Protesting?
Huh?
Didn't he get shot by the cops?
No.
He didn't get shot. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. It's maybe the wrong person. But
you're struggling. Sir, listen to me now. You're struggling pretty hard to name some of these things that you say it's happening all the time, like it's a normal thing. But you're struggling. You're going back to the 90s. You're talking about people that did not get killed by the police and white people. You're talking all over the place right now, sir. I think that you might be a little mistaken in your thought process, and hopefully you'll be able to, come to the light, man, to see things more like our way.
No, we don't, never that, bro.
Okay.
Like, we can disagree on stuff, man, but, I think your part is a little bit too, say a little bit too much racist stuff for me, man.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
No problem.
My man was struggling, won't he? Rodney King. Can we all just get along? You going back to the 90s? When was that anyway? Hold on. When was Rodney King beaten? And then what happened after that? They tore down L.A. and then you had the rooftop Koreans, black folks destroying the black neighborhood. Okay, when was this? 1991. Oh my goodness, 91. I was a little boy, man. I was I was 6 years old, man. I'm a little kid, man, playing with my X-Men and stuff like that. Sir, 1991, you're talking about almost a full 30 years ago. Come on, let's do better. Well, actually 31 years ago. 31 years ago. That's a long time, man. Come on, let's do better. All righty, let's go to 479 on line. I'm speaking to. Hello, caller 479.
Yes, hi. My name is Andrew Stockton. I'm from Arkansas. I'm the crazy guy. Just joking. But
all right,
I was just listening to the guy that was talking about the.
I got noise. I got noise in the background.
Oh, okay. Let me turn that down. Oh, all right. Yeah, I was watching that on live stream. I just wanted to iterate that I did see a BLM member that was motioning with a blowhorn, trying to get people to break the windows and stuff that on the Capitol building. They showed a picture of him. He had of course, a Trump hat on, but they identified him as a leader in the BLM movement. Did you see anything about that?
Oh yeah, you're talking about the guy that had the video footage. You talking about him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember that. And that guy, he's a guy that sold the footage to CNN and stuff like that. And he was there.
Did he get it? I didn't hear about that one.
Well, if it's
he was on CNN?
Yeah, there was one guy. I forget his name. What was his name again? What'd you say?
I don't remember what the guy's name is. I just remember kind of what he looked like. But he was on top of one of the, what do you call those, arches, yelling at the people as they were breaking the windows. And I think he had a Trump hat on, but he had a blowhorn, and then they identified him as being a BLM member.
Oh, John Sullivan. That's one guy I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, so John Sullivan, and by the way, he's I guess you say mixed race, so black and white or whatever. This guy was in there riling stuff up. And he wound up recording things and sold the footage to CNN and I think MSNBC to use.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you heard? I had another story I wanted to bring up. I just wanted to kind of argue with the other guy that was on your show there about BLM. But have you heard about Heather McDonald, her stand-up comedy?
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was wondering if you saw that. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I got to explain what happened to the crowd so they understand. So basically, the comedian, Heather McDonald, she was on stage doing stand-up, bragging about how she had been vaxxed and boosted and everything else and got the flu shot and some more stuff. And as she was continuing her bit, just like a few seconds later, she just collapsed. Boom. Just fell out. Now, they thought it might have been part of the skit. I was hearing laughing in the background, but she doesn't know what happened. She never fainted before.
The paramedics had to come up. Was that true? Did the paramedics had to come up and help her?
Well, yeah, she actually fractured the skull.
Did she really? Wow.
Yeah. She's okay, I guess, for having fractured her skull. She's not dead, obviously, but yeah, that was pretty. It was pretty crucial because she fell, like I'm talking about a free fall, straight to the ground. Boom. I was like, man, good grief.
You can see her waver a little bit and then wham.
Yeah, fell right down, fainted.
Now, I'm agnostic. I'm not a very religious individual, but that kind of got me thinking. I mean, she was talking about Jesus before that happened. You know, oh, Jesus loved me the most. I mean, as soon as she said that, she started, falling over herself. You wonder if God didn't intervene there just a little bit and give her a little smack in the face,
It was something because the timing was impeccable.
It was. It was very, and I want to apologize to you. I've been banned from all social media, so I can't like your show. I want to like your show, but I can't. I'm unable to.
Oh, it's all good, man.
It really sucks.
As long as you're watching and calling in, man, it's all good, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the show.
I would like to donate too, but I can't do that either. It sucks.
Oh, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, you take care, ABL. You got a great show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Sure. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Now, I'm going to show the video right here. So this is the comedian Heather McDonald. I never heard of her before, so pardon my ignorance for not knowing who this is. But I just happened to see this on the Twitters. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you guys right quick. And this is a video of a video that I guess it's like a podcast and they're watching it. And she's on stage with a microphone. It's like a stool behind her. And I have a story I'm going to share, but I'm going to play that. I'm going to talk about the story after this.
When you say
sorry about the noise. Blame the white man.
Stage after you brag about being vaccinated.
I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes.
Ew.
Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
Boom.
When you say
So, yeah, she fell right after that. Now, I was hearing her about this. I heard her about to faint because she was already dizzy at a certain point. I'm gonna tell you where she got dizzy. As she's talking, I could tell when she's got dizzy.
On stage after you brag about being vaccinated.
I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice.
Right there, she sounds very winded. Very winded. That's like the sign right there. She's starting to get dizzy, about to fall. I could tell it. Because I've been dizzy before. You know, you lightheaded, low blood sugar or something like that. That can happen. I don't know what she said, that she was like dehydrated and she didn't eat before she went on stage and whatever. But you talking about booster and vax and all this and that, and then you just fall like that. I mean, it just seems too coincidental. But right here, she was getting ready to fall.
Did shows, meet and greets.
Heavy breaths, get ready to fall. Right at that point, she's trying to keep her balance, and that's why she's not moving.
Never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously.
So when she moved, it was over, because she was kind of balanced right there. She should have just sat down. She would have been okay, maybe, or just got on the ground and just laid there. Right when she started to kind of feel like she's short of breath. Now, I have heard that shortness of breath, that's, you know what I'm saying, like a condition that you might get. You might get myocarditis or pericarditis or whatever. I'm just saying maybe that contributed to it. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know.
So nice. So nice.
So right there is over. When she moved, she lost her balance, and then boom. So yeah, she's okay. She's still doing her podcast and everything, and she said that, you know, she just kind of she felt like she might have been dehydrated and she didn't have enough food or whatever. Y'all can speculate about what was going on. But my story. Now, I remember when I was in school, I was like, I might have been 11th grade, 12th grade, something like that. I've said it before about falling. And we had a guest speaker that came to the class. He was an older black man. He was kind of big. He wasn't like 600-pound life big, but he was looking like he might have been an O-line guy back in the day. And, you know what I mean, he didn't really keep in the gym. So he was kind of a bigger man, but not necessarily just fat. He had a cane, and when he came in, right away, he was asking the teacher, I won't say his name, but shout out to you, Assalamu alaikum and all that good stuff. But anyway, he was asking the teacher, or he kind of just suggested, hey, is there a chair anywhere? He didn't really say, can I get a chair? He was like, man, I normally have a chair when I give my talks, but nobody thought that to pick up on that and say he needs a chair. So he's standing there with his cane in front of the class talking. And he's talking. And not too much long after that, he starts to kind of get weak in his words. He kind of had a little bit of a deep voice, you know, deeper than mine or whatever. And he starts to kind of get lightheaded, and he starts to kind of get short of breath. So we kind of see him fall like in slow motion. And then before I know it, he's on the ground. So it was me and probably about 3 or 4 of my friends that were pretty big guys in the class. We kind of got him up on, you know, got him in a chair like he was asking for in the beginning, got him some water, and then he was good. And I think at that point, the bell rings, and we're all leaving because we were already pretty much standing up from getting him in the chair. And my teacher was right in the doorway with a this kind of smile on his face, trying to not laugh at what he just saw. I was like, man, you dirty for that. You straight dirty. You did that on purpose. I don't know if you did or not, but that's my story. So basically, if you see something like that going on, shorter breath, and you sounding kind of weak, get him a chair, let him sit down, because it's about to fall. It's about to be timber in there, but I'll move on. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Hey, I didn't laugh at my man, but it was some snickering. I was like, man, y'all dirty for that. Y'all are straight dirty. But let's get to the next call here. All right, y'all, I'm speaking to 773.
Hey, Bill. Okay. Hey, Bill. First off, have you been paying attention to this new BLM scandal? Not talking about that insurance one. I'm talking about the Democrats giving them funneling money to them via through the coup funding.
Well, I'm not exactly sure I've seen that one. I mean, you're talking about when they had the charity in Toronto. Was it that one or something else?
Well, check out the Gateway Pundit on it, because I'll send you a link about it, because it's pretty much a major scandal.
Okay.
With practically every single Democrat governor and politician tied to this, because they supported that organization, which we all know is a major fraud.
I'll check it out for sure, because I've not seen this particular one. But, you know, that's BLM. Ain't nothing but frauds over there.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, it's pretty much Watergate 2.0.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of that, this week, the Democrats have been caught spying on the GOP headquarters.
Oh, really? How were they spying on them? Was it like a spy inside? Were they outside? Like, do you know the details of it?
I don't remember all the details, but I know it definitely was inside.
Wow.
And they were literally caught in the act.
That's crazy. Not surprising at all. That's pretty much what they do. A lot of crooks over there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the difference is actually has some credibility with Nixon despite his flaws. But most infamous thing that's happening the past 2 days, which everybody needs to pay very critical attention to. Thanks to the truckers were kind of exposing these liberal politicians for who they really are, actual dictators. Say like with Trudeau, for example, shutting down food getting into the truckers, aka like soup Nazi, no soup for you, for starters. And just recently today, a lot of Democrats are supposedly, quote, lifting the face diaper restriction mandates, and they're pretty much just doing this right now to save their own behind from the midterms, which is pretty fishy if you really think about it and read between lines what they're talking about. Even the CDC director is doubling down on this.
Right, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm only a little bit upset because not everybody's talking about it, but it's pretty much a huge deal if you think, because my governor's tied to a lot of these scandals and this right now, but they're pretty much not going to lift the restrictions for children to not wear the face diapers anymore, but particularly the teachers unions and the CDC directors are pretty much immune from doing this.
Well, yeah, we've seen that quite a bit. A lot of contradictions, a lot of stuff like that going on, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the school board, a lot of parents are getting involved, but they're still being kicked out because Loudoun County, for example, still has a lot of scandals under their belt. And the most interesting thing is that some students actually gave them a list of some demands from their own parents on actually having a conversation about ending the mandates, because they actually really see the face diapers what they really are, slave masks.
Yeah, it's all theater. It's not even really real. It's just all phony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One last thing. Make it a good laugh out of this one. But scientists now, for some reason in a mocking gesture, are literally telling people to put panties on their face combined with a mask. I mean, what's next? Jock straps on people's heads?
Yeah, I saw that. They said pantyhose, gauze, tape, rubber bands, all types of just ridiculous stuff. And I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be a parody, but they were dead serious.
Yeah, I never did that ridiculous panty raid as a kid, but I wouldn't wouldn't dare, if I was married, ask my wife for something like that, because that's pretty much stupid in and of itself and childish. So whoever came out with that study should actually be immediately fired.
Right, I'm with you, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Shouts to my man, Rapper 10,000 for the call. And I have a meme for you guys right quick. This is one of those Biden memes, one of these Biden crack memes. I'm going to just show it to you, then I'm going to say it to you for you guys who are watching or listening to the audio only. This is pretty much how I feel right now. Okay. Shout out to Grand Old Memes on Instagram. Grand Old Memes. Shout out to him or her. I don't know who that person is behind the actual account or if it's more than one person. But if you can't see the meme, it says, it's okay, you got a guy sitting on some steps, like outside, and could be black. I can't really tell. He might be black. And he has like a hoodie. It's kind of like a nighttime scene, no sun or nothing like that. And here's Joe Biden looking like he's just kind of leaning over talking to him or asking him a question. And then they put a crack pipe in his hand. The thing is humongous. It's like the size of a whole baton. And Biden is captioned saying, "Do you crack, son?" And he's like, "Sir, I'm waiting for an Uber." This is how I feel right now. This is how I feel. 1,000%. 100%. Matter of fact, hold on. I got another one for you guys before I get back to the calls. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Shout out to Rhonda Mary on YouTube. She had a fantastic meme. I'm gonna put it up right quick. It's on the Instagram page, Rhonda_Mary. You can find her as well, like I said, on YouTube.
Smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
So if you can't see what this says, it says Biden after breaking all his campaign promises. So he is, of course, this is Lean On Me, a clip from that. And you got Sam's, a little boy that he's talking to, or the young man, that little boy. And then you have Principal Joe Clark. So Joe Clark is obviously Joe Biden, and Sam's is all of us, or black folks.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you?
The memes are crazy. Who was the genius that came up with that idea to give out free crack pipes to underserved communities? That'll help. That'll be great for the midterms. What type of moron? I mean, crack pipes. You could waste money better than that. You might as well took the money and burned it on television. That would have been a better use of the money right there. All right. So yeah, shout out to Rhonda Mary and Grand Old Memes for the great memes. I was crying laughing when I saw that. When I saw the "you smoke crack, don't you?" That right there, that sent me to the moon. 100%. All right, let's get to the next one here. Let's go. 720, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Jake from Denver. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
Doing well. Tuning into the show this evening. Another great show like usual. So I think the first caller called about socialism. I had a question on socialism, and I kind of want to chime in on that a little bit too. I think everything you said is pretty much on par. But let's see. I guess one thing I could say about socialism here in the country, we do have modern or socialism that's in the country right now. I say that because if you go to like a Indian reservation, like let's say I'm Navajo, so you go to a Navajo reservation, that's seems to be like a form of socialism there. Everything's government run. Everything's, most of the people are on government aid. You have, medical care or government medical hospital, all that stuff. So, if anyone wants to go that direction with socialism, I think, visit, a reservation and you kind of have the epitome of, what socialism can lead to. So this evening, listening to the show, thought that was kind of interesting that guy called in, and maybe he's listening right now, but maybe look around the country. It's not just Navajo Reservation; it's all Indian tribes that have some sort of government aid, government assistance, Big Brother kind of just looking out for you. The nanny state kind of giving them their living. I don't know, but just wanted to chime in on that, and I feel bad for that comedian as well. There's a lot of injuries with what's going on with these shots or whatever you want to say. So a lot of crazy stuff going on with that, and just wanted to throw that out there. I also like your Shaq impression, so just like that a lot. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you. Shout out to the caller. And yeah, it's here. We can see a lot of socialism happening all over the country. You look hard enough, you see it. And they're trying to creep it. I mean, California is starting to go that direction, and you don't see positive things happen as a result. They have these government programs they want to introduce, and they want to make life easier and better. But really, all that it does is widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So for those that got a bunch of money and political connections, it's great. It's Animal Farm. I mean, anybody that want to see socialism, really just how it's going to play out, because it's one thing to have it on paper and you can see for yourself, like you can theorize how it should happen on paper, but then when you actually see it in person and how it actually plays out is much different. Read Animal Farm, that's how it's going to play out. You got the politicians and people that got money could call in favors. They're going to be the ones at the top. That's how that works. All right, 20609, am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Karen.
All right, turn your stream down for me in the background, please.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
All righty, so what's going on?
Well, I live in Seattle, Washington, and I just got a notice from my job that my religious accommodation was approved, which is nice, but how they're approving it is they're putting me on unpaid leave for 6 months and then reevaluating my accommodation. So it's really no accommodation at all. And it was kind of surprising to me because I thought an accommodation was just that, not basically getting rid of you.
Yeah, that's really crazy. So I think they're trying to get you to quit. So then they can say, oh, well, she just quit. She didn't really want to stay here. She wanted to leave. Just like we're doing right now with the economy. They're talking about, oh, they're just quitting their jobs voluntarily. They don't want to stay. It's like, no, I want to stay. I filed for my exemption and you guys approved it, but then you put me on 6 months unpaid leave. So it was like, what am I going to do in the meantime? So I think that's them just being passive aggressive. And really, I'm not sure if that's grounds for a lawsuit, but I'd be thinking about it. Now, I'm not saying go out there and get a lawyer right now because I'm not sure if you have grounds, but I'd be thinking about that for sure because you told me one thing and then you kind of making it be something else.
Yeah, and when I wrote the accommodation, it took them 3 weeks to get back to me. And then by the time they told me what I just told you, I had to have all my vaccinations by the end of the month. So it was all like really fast.
So wait a minute. So you filed for your exemption, and while the process was going on, while they were reviewing it, you had to get all your shots?
Yeah. Well, supposedly I was the shots were all supposed to be done by the end of February. And I filled out the accommodation and it took 3 weeks for them to get back to me. By the time they get back to me, it was the beginning of February. So it didn't really give me a lot of time to get all my shots in the time that they said they wanted me to.
But if you have the exemption, you don't need the shots, right? I don't understand. Maybe
yeah. Well, that's just that they were telling me if I changed my mind, I had a month to get all my shots.
Okay.
Or I was going to get laid off with unpaid leave.
Oh, okay, I see. So what they're saying is here's the actual solution. We've approved you for your religious exemption, but since you don't have your shots, we're going to put you on 6 months unpaid leave. Or you could avoid that and just get your shots by the end of the month, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Correct.
Okay, I see.
Correct.
I see.
Correct. So anyway, I just thought it was sneaky, and I just wanted to call in because I didn't know if anybody else had experienced the same thing.
I've heard that before. People getting put on unpaid leave. That's a common tactic they use because they want to get you to quit. Now I'm not sure what your legal options are, but I would at least ask somebody that might know more than I do.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, ABL, and I'll keep listening to your show.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, these companies are terrible. I mean, but you living in Seattle, I mean, it might be time to push that button and relocate. You know, people, sometimes they don't like me when I say that. They say, man, you got to stay there and fight. Fight for what? If your house is burned down, what you going to fight for, the ashes? I mean, you got to, you know, you have to leave. Like if your house is physically on fire, it's a raging inferno. You can't live in that house no more. You got to go somewhere else. Not even burned down. If it's burned down, you can rebuild. I'm talking about if it's an inferno, like that hole they got somewhere in Russia or wherever that is, Ukraine, Russia, somewhere in Eastern Europe, where it's just this big hole in the ground just burning. You can't live there. You can't stay right there. You got to go somewhere else. That'd be pretty much where I'm at. Now, if you want to be vaxxed and mandated and muzzled and masked, and okay, stay in Seattle. But if not, it might be time to go ahead and move or figure out a different way to, you know what I mean, have your employment. 720, you're the line. How much speaking to?
This is Scott down in Memphis. How you doing in that ABL?
I'm all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Hey, I just wanted to see if you'd heard about that, that I think it was a lady and her husband out in California that had stolen $13 million in COVID-19 loans. They were applying for them in dead people and elderly people's names and stole about $13 million. They got caught, but they put them on ankle monitors. And obviously they were supposed to turn in, the lady was sentenced, I think she was supposed to turn herself in yesterday or today for 121 months, so a little over 10 years. And they cut their ankle monitors and disappeared. I don't know how you could make them think they're not a flight risk. You know, you got $13 million in bank. You're about to be out of there, you know.
Hey, but you know what?
You know if you heard anything about that.
I've not heard about that one specifically. I heard about the Bitcoin people, but I've not heard about them taking the virus loans. But I figured that was going to happen from the beginning. Yeah. I figured that would happen. I figured there'd be a bunch of scamming going on because all this money just floating around. It's going to be some scamming. That's just a natural thing to occur. So, I mean.
Oh, you know it.
And it's California. They're talking about, let them out with no bail. It's okay. All right. Well, you got a bunch of bail jumpers. And people that shouldn't be out, they're not going to come back for no 10 years penitentiary time. They're going to flee. They got all that money. They're probably halfway to Ireland. They're probably halfway to Ireland right now. You're not going to find them no more.
Yeah, they're sitting on the beach in Cabo or something, laughing, thinking, like I was going to show up for 10 years. I got $13 million in my pocket. Nope.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, things are starting to loosen up down here in Memphis a little bit. You know, all the mask mandates are going away, so. I'm glad, man. I'm glad to be living here in Tennessee where things are kind of a little bit smooth. So
same here.
You know, hopefully the rest. It sounds like that Illinois and a couple other states are starting to do away with their mask mandates. So I hope it just continues to go that direction and start to free up the economy a little bit more and get things rolling again.
Right on, man. Exactly, 100%.
Ridiculous. All right, man. You have yourself a good night. Thanks for taking my call and keep up the good content, my friend.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I mean, ankle monitor really for $13 million for a 10-year penitentiary sentence. Ankle monitor, man, I'm out. You know, I heard about when I was younger. I heard about this regular white dude from the hood who fled the country on a drug charge. Like regular, I'm talking about not like some kind of big wig, just regular dude, regular white guy fled to Ireland. Man, they're not gonna find him no more. They changed his name to Shalelagi or whatever their names are, and you're not going to find them. You know. Okay, let's go to 252 unit line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, what's going on, boss?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Not much, not much. Hey, so I had a quick follow-up. So last week I had said that I worked for a company in Virginia, live in Northeast North Carolina. And just as I think history is celebrated after people pass, but why not celebrate them while they're still here? How would you feel if I put posters of you up for Black History Month?
I mean, you could do that. That's fine. Where you gonna put them at?
My workplace.
Oh, you could do that. I mean, you're gonna have to explain because they might not know who I am. It's like, yo, who's that random black guy on the poster? So you know, it could be.
Oh.
Go ahead.
They'll know. They'll know.
They'll know. Okay. Yeah.
So this is like last week I had talked about like my job showing racial propaganda for Black History Month and going over a few questionable characters. But why not put up Black conservatives?
Hey, I say go for it, man. That'd be cool. That'd be great, man. And like you say, celebrate them while they're here. Don't celebrate them after they die. You know, celebrate them right now.
Yeah, celebrate them right now. Get their message out. And just a couple other little things that I wanted to hit on. So did you by chance see the new Joe Rogan clip about this Melissa Carrizo or whatever?
I'm not sure.
It was one of Joe Rogan's most recent episodes. This was about a woman that had done something very heinous to her children, but you could see the reaction of Joe Rogan's guest.
Mm-hmm.
He was very reserved on his reaction or on what his take on the situation was. Do you think that has anything to do with the current backlash going on with Joe Rogan or with his podcast?
You said how was the reaction? I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, no, sorry. So the guest that Joe Rogan has on, Joe asked some questions, and the guest seemed very reserved. Do you think that has anything to do with the current situation?
Maybe so, because the guy knows if he says anything that can be misconstrued in any kind of way, form, or fashion, he's going to be all over news in the whole world because of how big the podcast is. I mean, really, that seems kind of silly to be like that because if you're that afraid of the backlash, cancel your appearance. You can't say, okay, I want to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, one of the biggest platforms in the world, but I'm afraid to open up and say anything. If it's like that, stay home.
Okay, yeah, and I feel the same way. But if any of the other listeners, or if you decide to take a look at it, you will definitely see the hesitation in his guest's voice, which is honestly kind of sad.
It is, but that's the mainstream media is doing because they put so much pressure on it and making everybody squirm. It shouldn't be like that. So I think going forward, if the guests are afraid and there should be some more screening behind it. It's like, look, man, we got stuff going on. You cool to come on. You're going to be open. If that's so, then come on. If not, then let's not do it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, I greatly appreciate you taking my second point, but I wanted to, first off, just ask if it was okay if I made posters of you. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Bye now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, though. Guys going on the show and being really kind of scared to say anything. That ain't really the wave. Not at all. So shout out to Joe Rogan. The podcast is great, man. Like Joe Rogan, not even a conservative. He's just a guy that will allow you to go in there and speak. I don't want him to be like the same as me and my same values and that type of thing. He doesn't have to be like that. If I can go in there and just speak my truth to a wide audience that may not hear me otherwise, that's all I can really ask for, right? That's all I can ask for. You don't have to agree with me. We can actually debate on there. That'd be fine. That's totally fine because he's allowing me to be on this platform and have that kind of dialogue, that back and forth. And I appreciate that. If I was to go on there, I would appreciate that 100%. Let me get to the next one here. 978, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. This is Nicole. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you well.
Oh, good. I was calling about what you were saying earlier about how it's funny that a lot of the BLM supporters are white. And that is just so true. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
We were in Boston for a rally actually against the vaccines last year. And it was, it was good. Everybody was in good spirits. Nobody was acting up or anything, but there were a ton of cops there just to keep everything in check. And the irony is that most of the people that were there, like, and Boston is predominantly white. There's diversity there, but most of the white people. So really, the only black people there were the cops, and BLM or whatever they want to call themselves come through, saying something like, "Racist pigs have got to go." And I just thought it was so stupid. It just looked really dumb. They'd be calling the only people that were really black there racist,
Mm-hmm.
And there was maybe one black person out of like 50 people walking with them. Crazy.
Yeah, that's how it's like I've seen it all over the country. It's how it is, because like a lot of black folks are not really going to be interested in these things, because the motivation behind the motivation behind these groups is a lot of guilt. People feel guilty. They feel like they gotta do something, and you got a lot of white liberals that are guilty, and that's going to be the core of groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. Same thing. I think Antifa is like the same kind of crowd as Black Lives Matter, just some more drugs.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, you're right. It is. It does seem that a lot of the people that cry white privilege, because they have that privilege, they've had that privilege, and they're so sheltered. They do. I think I agree definitely that they feel guilty.
That's right.
Yeah. One other thing that another caller was talking about, the vaccine and the test, and they're doing that here in Boston too, which is just absolute nonsense. To get into the TD Garden, you either have to show your vaccine card or a negative test. And really what I think that's about is, one, kind of to incentivize people to just get the shot, and two, because the test, that's all just more money for the people that have money with the manufacturers of tests.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of slips through the cracks and people don't really pay it any mind. But back in July, they came out and said that Bill Gates and Soros put in $44 million into this company that's making the test kits.
Right.
So it's just all full circle right back into their pockets. But it really is discrimination. I don't think that is going to hold up for much longer once people get lawsuits going and whatnot, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that's correct. We'll see how the whole thing goes.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy here. It's we just lost our the mandates today, so-called mandates. They just dropped them today, one of the last places to do that. So
yeah, we're gonna see that a lot more all over the country for sure.
Mhm. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, that'll be a wrap for the call. Thank you for being here tonight. You guys are the best audience in the world, as always. If you couldn't get on tonight, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. But yeah, great show, great callers. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, calling, sharing, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Thank you. Couldn't do it without y'all. I'll be back live again probably tomorrow on Tatum Show. We'll see if he does it. I'll be there for sure. And I'll definitely be back live on Saturday. Was that the 12th? Yeah, we live, of course, Saturday the 12th is normal. I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I put out my pre-recorded videos all throughout the week, usually 2 a day if I can find topics. If I can't, I ain't going to force no random topic to go out there. But that's pretty much what I got going on. Again, you guys go to my sponsors, patriotpost.us, bhedesigns.com, ablmerch.com, and anthonyblogan.com. All the links will be in the description box or in the little description area of the audio podcast. And if you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, please give me a 5-star rating or review, whatever you can. I most certainly appreciate that. I got super chats on deck, and then I wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top, and we'll be out of here. Let's go back to where I was. Let me see now. Where was I? Bugs Bunny says we need term limits and an insider trading ban for all DC staffers. F Ranger Xbox says dumb, stupid people broken from drug alcohol abuse are easier to rule. It's all on purpose. Wake up to the evil. Right on. Joe Ryder 84 says, how do you know so much about China? I don't know that much about China. I read a lot. That's all. I'm a reader. Like, these glasses ain't for fashion. You know, since I've been a little boy, I just been reading. You know, my thing now, I read just on specific topics, and I study certain things that I'm interested in. Geography, like I can name all of the world's countries in a short period of time. I'm that kind of guy. I'm weird like that. I look at maps all the time. I'm just a guy, you know what I mean, that does stuff like that. I had a globe. I'm gonna get another globe too, put that back there, or put it in my living room somewhere. Give me a nice decorative globe. Shout out to all the flat earthers. That's a different story. Anyway, thank you, Butt versus Windshoot, who says, how can people stomach watching Olympics put on by slavers? This is insane for any, quote, woke people. I will not watch a minute of it. Well, good question. Thank you, F Ranger Xbox, who says, masks are for peasants and servants. Rider 84 says, what do you think about Neyland Stadium and the Sony song Rocky Top? I have no idea. I don't know anything about that, honestly. Thank you to Bot KMIT, who says Rodney King caller was good, not because he was right, but because he was here. One red pill at a time, ABL. Keep it up. Hey, I agree with you 100%. I'm glad that he was here. I'm glad he was able to call into the show, because people think that I don't allow liberals here. It's like, nah, I invite him all the time. It's like, come on, man. I don't care who you are. As long as you ain't going to be talking crazy, talking about, you know, F this and F that, it's fine, man. We can have a conversation about whatever you want to talk about. We can agree, disagree. I don't care. It's fine. That's why I like Joe Rogan so much, is because he allows everybody on there. It's not a matter of do I agree or not. He had on CNN, what was that? The guy, I forget his name, Sanjay Gupta, was that his name? He had him on, and also people that don't agree with Sanjay Gupta. Bring everybody on. Thank you to End Times, who says, just a donation. Thank you to Bo versus Windshoot, who says, hold on. Who says, here's for the caller who was banned. Thank you to Anna Renee for becoming the ABL supporter. Thank you to Chandler Bland, who says, I got a follow-up question. Hopefully you're able to call in and ask a follow-up question. Thank you to Urbana Rodriguez for your donation with a thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Terranius, who says, ABL Fauci impersonation cracks me up. Yeah, shout out to Anthony Fauci. The science is settled. That's like a Gilbert Gottfried, Marge Simpson sister. That Newport smoke in the voice. You understand? That real gravelly. The science is settled. That's Anthony Fauci. Robin G says, over 50 people arrested at anti-vax protests in New Zealand inspired by Canadian truckers. Hey, shout out to New Zealand. Shout out to all the Kiwis. Is that what y'all call them? The Kiwis. Shout out to y'all down there. Thank you to TSM Space, who says, all of this free drugs is just survival of the fittest. If our population is weak, then they need to thin it out so that there's all the strong. Well, the problem with thinning the population now is that they're going to take people with them. You understand? Like, a dope fiend won't just always die without leaving the crater, if that makes any sense. Charles Hunter Jr. says, there's more anti-gun push in Olympia, Washington's capital. Removal of state preemption laws, magazine capacity limits, quote, assault weapons ban, unquote, is full-on Marxism here. No longer nice to live. That's really unfortunate that's happening. That's what I was saying, man. The left coast ain't really the best coast. You got to come on down, really right now, the Sun Belt, down south, down like from Arizona over to like Florida. That's where everybody's going. Yeah, I'm not going back up to the Great White North. Not back up, because VA is not really like that. But I'm not going to Chicago, New York. Nope. And I'm not going past Arizona. I mean, to stay for any period of time. right where I'm at right now, Tennessee, love it. Beautiful place. But I'm definitely not going over to I'm not going to LA or nothing like that to be hanging out for no period of time. Period. All right. But that will be all I got for tonight. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.